हेलो आ रही है आवाज
हेलो हेलो मैं भी लग
बोल के देखिए ना
नीचे
बोल के देखिए
अच्छी रख हेलो हेलो हेलो
सर आ रही आवाज ना
हेलो ठीक है
उधर से चेक करनी है मैंने
हेलो 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 आगे बच्चे बस बस नेक्स्ट चेक कर तबला तो एक ही Good morning, everyone. On behalf of G.H.G. Khalsa College of Education, Gurusar Sadhar, I warmly welcome you all in this two-day national level seminar on the theme A New Dawn for Indian Higher Education, Embracing the Paradigm Shift. It is indeed a privilege and an honor to have such distinguished guests and esteemed resource persons amongst us on this day. A special welcome to our President Sir Sardar Manjeet Singh Gilji, whose leadership and vision continue to inspire us in our all academic endeavors. We also extend our heartfelt welcome to Dr. S.S. Thin, Secretary, College Governing Council, and all the members of College Governing Council for their continuous support and dedication to the growth of this institution. Once again, a warm welcome to everyone. Now, to invoke the divine blessings for a fruitful and enriching experience for all of us in this seminar, I would like to invite our College Shabad team to take the stage and perform the College Shabad. I request all of you to please stand up and cover your heads.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा बड़े होते हैं। देह शिवा बड़े होते हैं। शुभ मन के कब शुभ मन के कब देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा बड़े मोहे हैं। देह शिवा बड़े मोहे हैं। शुभ मन के कब शुभ मन के कब ना डरो सो जब जाए करूं ना डरो सो जब जाए करूं प्लीज करे अपनी करूं प्लीज करे अपनी करूं देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा बड़े मोहे हैं। देह शिवा बड़े मोहे हैं। शुभ मन के कब शुभ मन के कब हर सिख को अपने ही मन को हर सिख को अपने ही मन को है लालच देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा देह शिवा बड़े मोहे हैं। देह शिवा बड़े मोहे हैं। शुभ मन के कब शुभ मन के कब जब आरती और निदान बने, जब आरती और निदान बने, अंधेरी रहने तब, अंधेरी रहने तब, देव शिवा, देव शिवा, देव शिवा, देव शिवा, देव शिवा, हरि मोहि शिवा, हरि मोहि सुंदर मन तेरा, मन तेरा, देव शिवा, देव शिवा, देव शिवा, देव शिवा, देव शिवा, देव शिवा, देव शिवा,
आलोचना नहीं करना जिदा जिदा नाम पाने पा दो फोन कर जैसे पहले तो हम पते इकड़े हो गए लेकिन प्रिंसिपल का सर्विस करवाना है अभी फिर ना
Now, to mark the formal inauguration of this national seminar, I request our distinguished guests to kindly come forward. For the lightning of the ceremonial lamp, I invite our esteemed President, Sir Sardar Manjeet Singh Gill ji, Sardar Dr. S.S. Thin ji, our worthy resource persons and respected members of the Governing Council to come and join us for the lamp lighting. I request our worthy Principal Dr. Pargar Singh Garcha to kindly escort President Sir, Secretary Sir, principals of the other institutions, our sister concerns, to kindly join for the lighting of ceremonial lamp. Let the light of knowledge guide us throughout this seminar, and may this event bring new insight and growth for all of us.
पासवर्ड ना लैपटॉप पे नहीं चल रहा तो पेजेस आ गए ऊपर पेजेस मेरा तो जो कि मेरी सी पैनल डिस्कशन है क्या मेरी इतने पैनल डिस्कशन पहुंच जाए
Let us light this light of knowledge through this ceremonial lamp lighting guide us throughout this seminar, and may this event bring new insights and growth for all of us. University Business School, Punjab University Regional Centre, Ludhiana, who has kindly graced this occasion to act as the keynote speaker. Welcome, sir, to G.H.G. Khalsa College of Education, Gurusar Sadhar. It is now my privilege to invite our respected principal, sir, Dr. Bhagat Singh Gachar, to deliver a welcome address to our distinguished guests, resource persons, and participants who have honored us with their presence today, and along with the exposition of theme of today's seminar.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mini Sharma. Respected dignitaries, our worthy management members, esteemed guests, distinguished speakers of this seminar, faculty members, and dear participants. A very good morning to all of you. It is with great honor that I, on behalf of our management, faculty, and students, welcome all of you in GHG Khalsa College of Education, Gurusar Sadhar, जो कि ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਮੇਨ ਥੀਮ ਹੈ ਸੈਮੀਨਾਰ ਦਾ, ਜਿਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਮਿਨੀ ਸ਼ਰਮਾ ਦੱਸ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਨੇ। A new dawn for Indian higher education, embracing the paradigm shift. NEP 2020 ਪਬਲਿਕ ਡੋਮੇਨ ਚ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 5 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ NEP 20 ਦੇ ਆਉਣ ਨਾਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਓਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਆਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਆਏ ਨੇ। ਸਕੂਲ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹਾਇਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੱਕ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆਈਆਂ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਾਹੇ ਕਾਲਜਸ ਦੀ ਟਰਾਂਸਫਾਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਲਟੀ ਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਸਕੂਲ ਪੱਧਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਨੀਆਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨੇ। ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਕਾਲਜਸ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਓਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਵੀ ਨੇ। ਤੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ GHG ਖਾਲਸਾ ਕਾਲਜ ਸੁਧਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਾਈਡ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਕੈਡਮਿਸ਼ੀਅਨਸ ਨੇ, ਰਿਸਰਚਰਸ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਰਿਸੋਰਸ ਪਰਸਨਸ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਤੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਮੁਸੀਬਤਾਂ ਦਾ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਓਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ ਤੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਰਸਤੇ ਲੱਭ ਸਕਣ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜਬ ਲਕ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਰਹੀਏ ਨਾਨਕ, ਕਿਸ ਸੁਣੀਐ ਕਿਛ ਕਹੀਏ ਨਾਨਕ। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਚਰਚਾ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਦਾ ਸੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਸੰਘਰਸ਼ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਚਾਹੇ ਹੁਣ NEP 2020 ਦੇ ਆਉਣ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਬੜਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਸੰਘਰਸ਼ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਖੜਾ, ਪਰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੇ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਸੰਘਰਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਬੜੇ ਬਖੂਬੀ ਲੜਿਆ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਚੇਂਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਵੀ ਨਿਕਲ ਕੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਉਣਗੇ। NEP 2020 ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਟਿਵਨੈਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਾਉਂਡਰੀਜ਼ ਕ੍ਰਾਸ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਜ਼ ਨੇ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਸੀ, ਇਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਓਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਵੱਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਪਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਚਾਹੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਟੀਚਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਨੇ, ਸਾਡੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਰੈਸਟਿਕ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਲੀਡਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਦੈਨ ਟੀਚਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਦੈਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਤੱਕ ਉਹ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਨੂੰ ਕਨਵੇ ਕਰ ਪਾਵਾਂਗੇ। ਸੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੇ 10 ਦੇ 10 ਥੀਮਸ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਘੁੰਮ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਹਾਇਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਐਕ੍ਰੀਡੇਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਨੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਕਾਲਜਸ ਦੀ ਸਟਰਕਚਰ 'ਚ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਨੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਕਰਿਕੂਲਮ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਨੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਆਰਟੀਫਿਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਆਉਣ ਨਾਲ ਸਕੂਲ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਹਾਇਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਨੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਚਰਚਾ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਰੈਡੀ ਕੀਤਾ, ਜਿਸ 'ਚ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਕਾਲਜਸ ਤੋਂ ਟੀਚਰਸ ਵੀ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਨੇ, ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਟੀਚਰ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਨੇ। We are thankful to District Education Officer ਲੁਧਿਆਣਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰਲੀ ਲੈਟਰ ਸਰਕੂਲੇਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਟੀਚਰਸ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਸੈਮੀਨਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਕਾਲਜਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਟਾਫ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਤੇ 2 ਦਿਨ ਲਈ ਚਰਚਾ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਸਪੀਕਰਸ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਕੀਨੋਟ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਰਵੀ ਇੰਦਰ ਜੀ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਟਾਕਸ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ NEP 2020 ਤੇ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਆਦਿਤ ਜੀ, ਜੋ ਜੰਮੂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਟਿਵਨੈਸ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੀ, ਉਸ ਤੇ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਦੈਨ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਜਸਪਾਲ ਜੀ, ਦੈਨ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਜਤਿੰਦਰ ਗਰੋਵਰ ਜੀ। ਜਿੰਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਅੱਜ ਟੀਚਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਬੈਠੇ ਨੇ, 3-4 ਕਮੇਟੀਜ਼ ਬਣੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਰੀਸੈਂਟਲੀ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ 'ਚ ਟਰਾਂਸਫਾਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਆਫ ਟੀਚਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਮੇਟੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਨੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਨਵਾਈਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਕੱਲ ਦੇ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਵੀ। ਸਪੀਕਰਸ ਦੀ ਟਾਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇੱਕ ਪੈਨਲ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਪਲਾਨ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸੈਮੀਨਾਰ ਦਾ ਪਰਪਸ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਪੂਰਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਹਾਇਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅਦਰਵਾਈਜ਼ ਸਪੀਕਰ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਆ, ਆਪਣਾ ਥਾਟ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਹਾਫ ਪਾਰਟ ਕੰਪਲੀਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ। But panel discussion will provide a platform where we all can discuss key issues related to school education as well as higher education. We will try to compile all the proceeding of these 2 days seminar and send to the higher authorities. ਇਸ ਦਿਨ ਤੱਕ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ, we have compiled around 67 papers, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਕਾਲਜਸ ਤੋਂ all over the India ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ papers ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਨੇ। 67 papers ਨੂੰ compile ਕਰਕੇ ਇੱਕ book ਅਸੀਂ keynote address ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਅੱਜ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ। That is a wonderful compilation of different viewpoint of all the stakeholders. That will be really a good contribution in the field of education. That particular book, which is compilation of 67 papers across the nation. So once again, I welcome all the teachers from school side as well as from the higher education institutions to this 2-day seminar for thought-provoking discussion with all of us. ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੀਪਲਸ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਤੋਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਕਰਦਾ। ਪੂਰੇ ਕਾਲਜ ਵੱਲੋਂ, ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਵੱਲੋਂ, ਸਟਾਫ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ, ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੈਂਟ ਜੋ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੱਦੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਤੇ 2 ਦਿਨ ਸਾਡਾ ਹੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਚਰਚਾ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਰਹੇਗੀ। ਸੋ ਵਨਸ ਅਗੇਨ ਆਈ ਐਕਸਟੈਂਡ ਅ ਹਾਰਟੀਐਸਟ ਵੈਲਕਮ from the side of G.H.G. Khalsa College of Education, Gurusar Sadhar, a team which consists visionary management, our heads, our faculty as well as our students. So once again, you all are welcome to G.H.G. Khalsa College of Education, Gurusar Sadhar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It is with great pleasure that I now introduce our distinguished keynote speaker for this seminar, Professor Ravi Inder Singh, Professor in Finance, University Business School, Punjab University Regional Center, Ludhiana. Professor Ravi Inder Singh has an extensive academic background with an illustrious teaching and administrative career spanning over 22 years in education. Professor Ravi Inder Singh has made significant contributions both in classroom and in academic administration. Sir remained Director of Punjab University Regional Campus and Extension Library, Ludhiana from June 12, 2018 to June 11, 2021. The research work done by Sir has been published extensively in leading national and international journals. The CV of our esteemed keynote speaker, Professor Ravi Inder Singh, is truly exhaustive, reflecting an illustrious career in academia, research, and leadership. Due to time constraint, we have shared a brief overview of Sir's CV. However, for learning more about Professor Ravi Inder Singh, we will be sharing the detailed CV in the WhatsApp group for your reference. Now I request Professor Ravi Inder Singh Ji to deliver the keynote address.
Honorable President of the Governing Council, Sardar Manjeet Singh Gill Ji, Secretary S.S. Thenji, my dear friend, Principal of the college, Dr. Pargat Singh, principals from various colleges, teachers, dear students, wish you all a very good morning. So first of all, I would like to extend my thanks to the management of the college and the principal for giving me this opportunity to come here and interact with you on the topic, very, very important topic, which is, on which a lot of discussion is being held, that is NEP 2020 and its impact on the higher education of our country. And it is very, very important topic. We people are discussing it ever since it was launched in 2020 by the central government. Lot of webinars, seminars, they have been taking place on this issue. Some people, they're talking in favor of it. Some people, they're talking, finding out the fault in this policy. But what I feel is, you have to move according to the requirement of time. in our country, the education system, in case I look into the history, the formal education policy was launched in 1835 when Britishers were ruling, and it was Mr. Macaulay who introduced this policy. And when he framed this policy of education, he followed the three concepts, three E's. It was English, then employment and education. What he believed that those people who are getting education in English, only they'll be getting employed. And then we had Kothari Commission somewhere in 1964, 65. Then we had some policy 68, 86, 92, and then this new policy NEP 2020. But this policy, it is like as you कहते हैं ना tagline है सारे घर के बदल डालूंगा. This policy is like that. So it is talking about complete transformation of the school education as well as the higher education. Can I have the PPT? Yes. So in case we compare the quality of education which we are providing in the country, the literacy rate is somewhere 76%. And in case we look into China and the other countries with which we are competing, we are the 5th largest economy in the world. China is number 2. We know US is number 1. We are the 5th largest. And the countries ahead of us, so far as their education system is concerned, they are much better placed than we in India are. Though our literacy rate is 76%, but in case we talk about the quality of education these 76% people have, it is not comparable. It is so this NEP 2020. I think you might have seen the Human Development Index of India are ranking onto that. When I was talking about the quality of education, we can look into the number of parameters. And one of those parameters is Human Development Index, wherein amongst 191 countries of the world, we are ranked at 134th rank. So far as the population of the country is concerned, we are the largest country in the world as on today. We are the 7th largest in terms of area, and the 5th largest in terms of the economy. But in case we look onto the Human Development Index, we are ranked at 134th position. And I feel one of the major reason behind this is the education which we are getting here in the schools and colleges of our country. I was just saying that whether NEP 2020 is good or not, that is a different issue. But what do we need as on today? That is more important. What is the requirement of time? We all know that this age is an age of artificial intelligence. I have got some data for sharing with you. I hope PPT, I can show it. So artificial intelligence is taking over in a big way. Few days back, we know that there was news in all the leading newspapers. There was a summit in France, which was co-hosted by our honorable place onto that. What should be dimensions onto which this artificial intelligence should be allowed to come in. So different issues were there. But what I feel is the only thing which is always correct in this world. Yes, can we move it? Thank you. So this was what I was talking about. There are two pictures which are displayed onto this. You can see the India is dark green, and the other continent with which we are comparable is the Africa. They are the less developed continent in the world. The kind of education they are getting and the kind of education we are getting, we are just sailing in the same boat. And the rest of the world is doing a bit better. The yellow color, it is, Europe, Russia, America, all those, places. Then I was talking about the ranking of our country on the global, human development index. We are ranked at 134th position among 191 countries of the world, which is not a good sign. And you will agree with me that one of the major contributor here is in the four industrial revolutions. And whenever any industrial revolution came in, there was lot of, resentment. There was lot of, criticism. But no revolution, was stopped. It came in and, it prevailed. And from that stage, we moved on to the next stage. When this computerization came in our bank, in our country, it started with banking. And people know it that there was a lot of criticism in the banking industry about this computerization. People are talking about unemployment and all those things. But in case we see banking as on today of India, it is surviving only because of the digitalization. And the kind of success we are able to get because of this digitalization, that is marvelous. So this is what is happening. And one thing more important, change is, is the only constant. It was happening earlier, it is happening now. But what is, more important over here is the rate of change. The speed with which the change is coming, it is very fast. We all people, we like actually these days, particularly the young people, we like the instant food. So the way, our, culture with respect to food has developed, same way, even nature has become instant. Even the society has become instant. Things are changing very fast. So that is, we need to learn. So this is the impact artificial intelligence will be having on different sectors. Hospitality, hospitals, fashion designing, all the areas, all the different kind of industry will be getting affected. Manufacturing, real estate, travel, legal business, everything is getting impacted. Few days back, I was sitting with one of my friends from a leading textile company. He was director there. So he was talking that a few, months back, the garments, the apparels we were getting designed, they were getting designed from the, human beings. But now they have got the software, and through that software, they are getting the design of, the different wears we are wearing, different garments we are wearing. And he was telling that they have employed, earlier they were having 500 people in the fashion designing department. Now only 5 people are working. Similarly, last Sunday, I was sitting with one of a person, leading, industrialist. So they are making, into the making of this, health aid equipments, like, means you wear when there's some fracture, you wear, bandages and all those things. So he was telling that in one of his factory, he has replaced the entire workforce with the robots. So this is what is happening. In case I talk about the legal profession, the advocates, they are getting the, cases drafted through, the AI softwares. And the cases drafted by the AI softwares, they are much better than a human being is making. So whether it is good or bad, that's a different thing. But this is now how the world is moving. Why I'm talking about this? Because later on I'll be linking it with the NEP 2020. And this AI, already it is playing a significant role, but further it is going to increase. Its role is going to increase, it's not going to go down. We may be debating about its positive impacts. We may be debating about its negative impacts. Of course, we should be debating, but then this has become a part of our life, and it is going to be there, and it is going to increase further. So this is how the market size of AI is increasing. The data is there in front of you up to 2030, and you can see the market size in US million dollars, and it is increasing starting from 2021 with less than 1 million US dollars. It is now more than 17,50,000 million dollars. So this is how the market size of AI is increasing. Then share of projected worldwide AI contribution to the gross development and gross domestic product. The information is given up to 2030. So it is estimated China will be getting the maximum benefit out of it. 26.18% of their GDP will be coming out of the AI related businesses. I tried to collect the data, but India will be getting out of it. So the data was not there, but then I got one statement from IT Minister Chandrasekhar wherein they're talking about 20 to 25% of the Indian GDP will be contributed by AI related businesses by 25-26. Then you can see percentage of AI related, patent filings from our country. They are significantly increasing. How this will be impacting the education sector will be coming down onto that. But let us first of all understand how, what is this AI doing? So this is what, in this section, I'll be talking about how AI is affecting the education sector. So this is domain-wise patent filing. Different sectors are given: healthcare, image processing, transportation, then education sector. You can see the fourth area is the education part. And from 2020, so there's just 22 patents filed in 2018. The number went up to 202 in 2022. So these are the patents filed related to AI and education. So their number is going up. And this is the investment and the market size in the education sector. Earlier I talked about the overall contribution of AI in the GDP. I talked about the market size of AI. Now this is what AI is doing in the education sector. You can see this AI in education market, it is growing at a rate of 44%. AI in education. In our country it may be less, but across the world it is increasing at a very high rate. And the day is not far off when we'll also be witnessing huge changes in the education sector because of the use of AI. Now, these are the benefits of use of AI in the education sector. What are the benefits? It is personalized learning. Sometimes a student who is lagging behind, he feels, hesitate. He, hesitate in asking the teacher again and again that I'm not able to understand what you're talking about. Maybe he'll be asking one, maybe twice, and after that he's not able to, in case understand, he leaves it. Okay, no, I'll not be able to understand. But in case AI-driven model is there in front of you, you will not hesitate. Student will not hesitate because it's not a human being sitting in front. Okay, he can keep on asking and the AI will keep on telling. Then task automation, you can make your schedule, and then number of other things: closing skill gap, customized database, then 24-hour assistant, 24/7 assistance. In case during night while studying in the present system, in case a student is not able to understand, he will have to wait for the class on the next day in the morning to ask the teacher what this thing about. But in case of AI-driven models, he will not have to wait. He can just sit on the software and you can ask at any time, how to resolve this issue. So these are the benefits. And then AI in examination. We'll talk about this. It's a very important part. And how this AI will be affecting the labor market. Most of us sitting in the education institutions, taking higher education, studying BCom, BBA, different courses. Majority of us, we, take the education that later on in our life will be using this education, will be getting some good employment. But how this AI is affecting the employment part, you can see different sectors are given. This is the data I have taken from the World Bank report. The first one is banking. I'm not sure whether you are able to read it or not because the data was too large. But you see, this blue part is telling us how much of banking services can be automated. What percentage of banking services can be rendered through the use of AI-driven softwares, and there'll be no requirement of human beings. So this is the blue color. And then the green one is, these are again those kind of services which can be, to some extent, can be rendered through the computer-driven or AI-driven softwares. So in case we look into this chart, this graph, a student to complete the degree in 7 years. In case a student is leaving after 2 years because of some, getting some employment or because of some other reasons, he can or she can come back and complete the degree in, you know, again. Then top Indian institutes are encouraged to build, advance their global presence and vice versa. Dr. Pargat was talking about internationalization of the education and, giving access to the students to the international education and permitting the foreign institutions to come in the country and, provide the quality education to our students. So this is what is being done. Then online courses, rather 40% out of whatever you're studying, 40% of that you can study through the online mode, through the MOOCs. Means the importance of online education. We are sitting in a college. Most of us are coming from the colleges wherein we are giving, weightage to the face-to-face education. Whether online will be good or bad, but both the modes they have got their own, pros and cons. But the situation is that the authorities, they are giving equal importance whether it is online or offline. And this is how the revenue at the global level from online education market is increasing. It is there in front of you. So it is in billion US dollars. You can see by 2027, it is expected to touch around 240 billion US dollars. So online education is not going down, it is going up, increasing. Again, it's a challenge, but basically for the colleges who are providing education through the regular mode of education. And then this is the data about online learners. This is a course era's data from where they are getting the people for online education. You can see India is one of them, and it is at number 2. Out of the total student base they have at Coursera, 13.64 million students they are from India. Right? So means online education is popular. It is not like this that people are not interested in this. Then we are talking about multidisciplinary, converting the education institutions and the other standalone institutions into multidisciplinary colleges. The purpose is that it is felt by the authorities that in case you go for multidiscipline, perhaps you get holistic development. In the morning, sir was talking about the foreign, education concept. There also, he was saying that means it is not like that they are separately operating different universities in agriculture, veterinary. They, they operate under one umbrella and they provide interdisciplinary education. Foreign institutions, we know they have been, allowed to permit, and then I'll just skip them. No, what is needed? There's a lot of debate on since this PPT has stopped. Bill Gates satisfied with that. And similar is the case, I think, institutions, education. So in case they're getting education, be it, through the physical mode, be it through the online mode, be it through the, distance education, they'll not be concerned about whether education institution is the crux of this NEP 20, I feel that this NEP 2020 is perhaps favoring efficiency. And maybe that efficiency is more with the private sector than with the government sector. In the morning, we were talking, Majid Singh ji was talking that, we are still teaching the old syllabus. And I think that is because of the, the formal setup or, the bureaucratic setup we have, with us in the government institutions. Private sector universities, in the morning, they think of changing the syllabus, by evening, they change it. But in case of government-owned universities, it takes, months. Not only, I'm not saying weeks or days, it takes months to change the syllabus. So what is needed? Education or education institutions, we need education. So this is what Bill Gates said, we need banking, but we do not need banks anymore. When he said this, people were not able to understand what he's talking about, how banking is possible without banks, but it is happening in front of us as in today. So the same thing may be applicable to us in future. So this is college level learning experience online versus classroom. I have taken this data from search.com. They conducted one survey under, for the graduate students and for the undergrad students. So you can see 52% undergrad students, they were happy with online education. You can see, okay? And in case of undergrad students, their number was low. It was 39 or 38, but I'm not able to see that exactly from. I think it is 39%. And so far as, this, means they were having the same view about the online as well as the offline. The number was 34 and somewhere around 50%. And not good, 10% saying, in the graduate part, 10% saying it is not good. The number is very less. Online education does not get the percentage of students, and in the undergrad category, it was 11%, and the graduation category, it was 10%. So online education, again, is a big challenge. Online education, what it can do? No, when it is offline. So for every college, for every subject, you need one teacher. But what can happen when it is online? Just have a look onto this. It is Khan Academy. Have you come across this name? What is the number of subscribers they are having? It is 22.8 million. 22.8 million, matlab more than 2 crore. One person sitting onto the system addressing more than 2 crore students. तो 2 करोड़ अगर आपने फिजिकल मोड में पढ़ाने हो तो कितने टीचर चाहिए?
डिस्टर्बेंस आ रही है।
हाँ, अगर 2 करोड़ फिजिकल मोड में पढ़ाने हो तो कितने टीचर चाहिए? So this is what the emerging scenario is. And this is MOOCs, again related to online. Coursera, it is US operated online platform of education. They have got 45 million users. And then Satyam, we are this is Swayam, only 10 million. So there's a lot of scope to increase it further. And government is putting in a lot of efforts. A few days back, I came across UGC chairperson's speech where he was talking about the super Swayam. Okay, so means they are trying to further improve it, wherein the system will be there, which will be addressing the students' query on real-time basis. So this is NEP 2020. It is student-centric, teacher-centric, college-centric, and promotes autonomy. In our country, we introduced, reforms, economic reforms, I'll say, in 1991. Liberalization, privatization, and globalization. We opened up our economy. All these sectors were, reformed except one, and that was the education. And then I feel that this NEP 2020, it has come little late. It is going to bring in the revolution in this sector. Till, before the coming in of this NEP 2020, the education was actually, service providers domain. Whatever service provider wanted to deliver, he was delivering that only. Like in case of our, MBA program, so we have designed, a course wherein some specializations are there. ਤਾਂ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 6 ਪੇਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ 3 ਹੀ ਆਫਰ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਟੀਚਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਔਰ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਆਫ ਦੀ ਅਦਰ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਬੱਚਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਰ 3 ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ। ਫਿਰ ਬੱਚਾ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਫਾਈਨਾਂਸ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਮੈਂ ਮਾਰਕੀਟਿੰਗ 'ਚ ਜਾਣਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇਸ ਤੈਨੂੰ 1 ਸਾਲ ਪੂਰਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਏਗਾ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲੇਗੀ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ these are the rules. But now this concept has changed. NEP 2020 is giving more power to the students. 1991 we made, we shifted from, government regulated type of economy to consumer driven economy. So same thing is happening here. It is now student driven sector. It will be student driven sector. So it promotes college autonomy. Government is trying to bring in, more and more autonomous colleges and then universities. I have got the slip. So how much time is there? Okay. So I'll just, so this is what NEP this 2020 is saying. Any subject, any combination, multiple exit, multiple entry. These concepts are there. So physical mode, online mode, they are equal. So means more power is given to the students. So let speed up this. And this is very important. Pick teachers and timings. ਆਪਣੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਕਲਾਸ ਲਾਓ, ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਟੀਚਰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਹੁਣ ਜੇ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਕਾਲਜ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਰਵਿੰਦਰ ਹੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਏਗਾ ਹੈ, no, it is not there. As per NEP 2020 ਬੱਚਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਟੀਚਰ ਚੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਦੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਨਾ ਹੈ। Then design your degree, choose any subject. Now this is something we all know about. Now what we are required to do, as I was talking about AI, because of that, the kind of environment which is emerging, it is the people who can solve the problems. We need those kind of people who can work in teams. We need those kind of people. We do not need data entry operators and all those kind of stuff. But how will that be possible? How will that be possible? That will not be possible with the way the kind of education we're providing will have to shift. We'll have to change our role. It will be on to the development of thought process. This NEP 2020 is talking about open book examination. Now, open book examination means what? Give all the books to the students and let him do it, but he'll not be able to get from the books. He will have to apply his mind. When he'll have to apply his mind, naturally, his thought process will develop. The whole pedagogy which we use in the colleges, in our universities, will have to change that. Only then this thing we can achieve. The kind of education system we have right now, it is just cram and then reproduce in the examination. It is not bringing in any kind of creativity, innovation. No, thought is not actually developing, right? But we'll have to provide the kind of education wherein actually we are working at the thought development process of the student. So teachers all will be transferring, it will be transformed from knowledge provider to guide and mentor. And this already I've talked about open book examination, very, very important. And then this policy is talking about examination and at the demand of the student. It will not be like December examination or May examination. अब उन बच्चा जो कह देगा मैं जनवरी पेपर देने, you'll have to take it. जो 4 बच्चे कह रहे हैं, 2 कह रहे हैं, 1 कह रहे हैं, means you cannot say कि एक बच्चा सी नहीं, means we cannot afford it. And how will that be possible? Only then when you are making use of the AI-driven softwares. That AI-driven software will be making a question paper and then student will be able to attempt it. Otherwise, for a teacher, it's not possible. Every day setting a new question paper is not possible. Okay, but those AI-driven softwares will be making the question paper for the students. हालांकि कुछ टीचर है, means whenever they get this assignment, they make use of the softwares to make good question papers. So we'll have to work on to this. Colleges ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ concept ਹੈ, means we have got big libraries, ਹੈ ਨਾ, 2 ਲੱਖ ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚ, 2.5 ਲੱਖ ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. But what I feel is, ਵੈਸੇ ਤਾਂ you might have noticed the footfall of the students in the libraries, they have gone down, substantially down. I am member of inspection committee of the university AICT. You go whatever place you want to, whatever state you want to, the use of the library has gone very down. What students are making use of? They are making use of the digital libraries. In their laptop, they have got 2 lakh books, 2.5 lakh books. Journals are there online. So they are not coming to the library. So the concept of library is almost finished. Physical libraries. Arrange learning management system. So this is what we will have people to work on. And NEP 2020, what I feel, my personal view is very good. It is as per very good in the sense because it is, trying to develop the stuff as per the requirement of time. Otherwise, there can be a lot of debate onto this. We had down the prana time, there can be a lot of debate. But what I feel is, whatever is the need of the time, NEP is just trying to line the education sector with that requirement. But again, we'll have to do some basic groundwork. This is the news cutting which I've got from few of the newspapers. Over 50% of the schools in 10 districts send principals. तो बहुत सारे साडे schools and colleges हैं जिथे principal ही नहीं है. तो जो principal नहीं है, you can imagine the education कितना नहीं चलती होएगी. Mumbai University colleges do not have teachers. तो 50% colleges teacher नहीं है proper. And this is the case everywhere. We were talking about the low remuneration being paid to the quality teachers in our state. I have went to Karnataka and then number of other states. What I feel or what I have seen, the state, the situation is same everywhere. Perhaps कई states ऐसा नहीं है, अच्छी states जिन्होंने उसे अच्छा समझ अच्छा मंदे हैं, उथे ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹਾਲਾਤ है, particularly ਜਿਹੜੀ teacher ਦੀ employment है, वो पंजाब नालों ही बुरे हैं. So we need to work on to this. NEP 2020 will not, be able to do anything unless until the basic चीज़ां सी इन्हां नूं नहीं सुधार दे. Teacher training ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ तो budget, India's education spend almost amongst top 5, lowest amongst top 5 global economies. So we are the 5th largest economy in the world, and the money we are spending on education is the lowest. Earlier, it was less than 4%, but for the last 3-4 years, we are ranging between 4.1 to 4.6. And this is what the norms say. US is spending 6%. You can see United States 6.1, Australia 5.3, China is 4. We are also spending 4. But we need to understand that China is almost $18 trillion economy. ਜਿਹੜੀ China ਦੀ GDP है 18 trillion है, ਸਾਡੀ GDP है 3 trillion. तो ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ 4% spend ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਹ ਵੀ 4 spend ਕਰ ਰਹੇ, same amount of population. Looking at the value of GDP, we are spending much less. Well, US is spending how much? 6%. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ GDP ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ, that is 30 trillion. They are spending 6% of 30 trillion. We are spending 4% of 3 trillion. Our population, ਸਾਡੀ population 140 ਕਰੋੜ ਦੀ US ਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸ਼ਾਇਦ 34-35 ਕਰੋੜ ਹੈ. So huge difference. So we'll have to work on this. And perhaps because of this only, government has thought of inviting the foreign universities so that investment can come in and the thing which we are not able to do, perhaps foreigners will do it for us. And this is the world best education systems. We are not figuring there at all. The top 20 countries of the world on the basis of the quality of education, we are not there. And what I feel is, unless until we spend on strengthening of our teachers, the system cannot give us good, stuff. Teacher the training hai, no doubt NEP 2020 is talking about it, is giving a lot of stress on this, but the amount which we are spending on teacher education, teacher training is just 0.01% of the GDP. It is very less, and the kind of teacher training is happening, we know that it is just for the sake of taking certificates so that you get the promotion. So we'll have to work on this. So with this, I conclude. In case there's any query, anything you want to ask, we can talk about that. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for touching all the sub-themes of this seminar with such an amazing and insightful presentation, sir. Thank you so much. It's my profound privilege to extend a warm welcome to our resource persons of the day, Professor Adit Gupta, Principal, Meyer College of Education, Jammu. Welcome, sir. Professor Jitinder Grover, Professor, Department of Education, Punjab University, Chandigarh. Welcome, sir. And Dr. Sarabjit Kaur, Principal, Guru Nanak College, Zoraha. Dr. Sandeep Kataria, Principal, GTB National College, Dhaka, Mullapur. Dr. J.S. Bararji and Dr. H.S. Bararji are former principal. Welcome, sir. Now I would like to request our principal, sir, Dr. Pragat Singh Garcha, to escort our distinguished resource persons as well as our president, sir, and secretary, sir, on the stage to their designated seats. It's my kind request to Dr. Bhagat Singh Gacha to kindly escort our President Sir and Secretary Sir to present sapling to our resource person, Professor Adit Gupta, Principal Meyer College. And Professor Jatinder Grover, Professor from Department of Education, Punjab University, Chandigarh. We are really honored to have you, sir, over here in the seminar. Thank you so much. We now come to an important moment in the seminar, the release of the seminar book, which contains a collection of research papers and articles on the various sub-themes of the seminar. This book represents the hard work and dedication of all the contributors and reflects the depth of knowledge shared by them. I would now like to invite our esteemed resource persons, President Sir, Secretary Sir, members of College Governing Council, and editorial team to kindly come forward to release the seminar book. A huge round of applause for our hard work. I kindly request Dr. Manu Chadda, IQSC coordinator of the college, to kindly join on the stage. Dr. Rishpal Singh from editorial team. Dr. Jasveer Kaur Sarna, if she's there, from editorial team. Thank you so much, sir. Now I request my colleague, Dr. Jasleen Kaur, for further proceeding.
Thank you, Dr. Mini. Now we will be proceeding further with the seminar. And now we have with us Professor Adit Gupta, Principal, Meyer College of Education, Jammu. Sir is Director of Meyer College of Jammu and has over 28 years of experience. He specializes in educational technology, STEM education, and teacher education. He holds a PhD from Curtin University, Australia, along with master's degree in psychology and education. A recipient of the Endeavour Executive Award 2009 and Ambassador Award 2016 from the Australian government. He has also received innovation and utility patents for online teaching solutions. He is an adjunct research fellow at Curtin University, editor-in-chief of the Meyer Journal of Educational Studies, and an assessor for NAC. He is affiliated with NAST, ERA, and other research organizations. His contributions include supervising PhD research, presenting at global conferences, and advancing quality assurance in education. It is our honor to have Dr. Adit Gupta as our esteemed speaker today. With his vast knowledge and experience, we are sure we will get valuable insights on the theme of the seminar. Sir would be deliberating on globalization of Indian higher education, enhancing global rankings and competitiveness. So I request Professor Adit Gupta to please be on the dais.
So good morning, everyone, and I'm extremely delighted to be part of this national seminar that is being organized at the G.H.G. Khalsa College of Education. I express my gratitude to Dr. Pargat Singh, who had invited me for this presentation. I am, going to share with you my thoughts on this very pertinent topic, because the theme of this seminar is such vibrant, the new dawn for Indian higher education, and what better topic to discuss than globalization of Indian higher education. And as we know that we are talking about, asking global universities to come and set up shop in the country. And as sir was just saying, that probably that is one of the requirements of time. I consider it, a backlash on the Indian education system, because if we can't, portray the quality of our own educational institutions and make them achieve those global levels of excellence, this would only, add fuel to fire and provide that kind of competition where all Indian educational institutions will have the necessary impetus to compete with these global universities. In fact, we were having a discussion a few days ago, and somebody was telling me that it's easier to get admission in the university than any of the colleges of Delhi University. I mean, this is indeed a matter of, shame for all of us, that difficult to get into our own colleges, but very easy to get into a global university. Indian higher education, and what we need to do, especially when it comes to enhancing the global rankings and competitiveness. So, I think so. The point towards some. Okay.
So, दूसरा बटन रहेगा second.
ये वाला? Right. Okay. So I know time is of the essence. So we have been given a strict limit of 30 minutes. We'll try to finish within that time. So what I'm going to talk about is a little introduction about the whole system, where we are, what is the global context, what is the Indian higher education journey, some of the success stories of our institutions, and I'm going to share a strategic framework for global competitiveness, and then what is the implementation roadmap ahead. So if we look at the education, global educational gap, India is at a paradox. We are projected to be the world's third largest economy by 2030. And we are also expected to contribute about 8.5% to the global GDP. But on the other hand, if you look at, none of the universities of our country are within the top 100 universities of the world, according to the QS World Rankings, whether you take the 2024 rankings or the 2025 rankings. And then we also see that there is a significant gap between the growth and the educational, quality that we are trying to give. So what that means is that irrespective of whether we are growing or not as a country of high quality educational institutions, the kind of contribution to the economy, we are not creating that kind of a contribution. So there is a big gap, although we are increasing, but this gap is also increasing. So in terms of scale versus quality, if we look at, we have, one of the largest higher education systems in the world with over 58,000 institutions. We have the second largest student population at 43.3 million. But if we look at the global rankings, only 46 institutions are in the top 1400. None in the top 100, but in the top 1400, with IIT Bombay at 118th and IIT Delhi at the 150th ranking. So that means there is a lot of scope for educational institutions in the country to grow and come to the global level. In terms of the economic impact, if you see the annual financial outflow, so $3 to $4 billion are being spent by Indian students studying abroad, whereas and only 1.1 million Indian students are studying overseas. So that means almost 11 lakh students are studying overseas and spending $3.4 billion. But on the other hand, if you look at the inflow, only 400 or 500 million dollars are coming to India, with only 50,000 international students in the country. So that means we are also not attracting international students. More students are going out, but less number of students from other countries are coming in. And in terms of research commercialization, which is one of the key factors for any top global university, India spends just 0.7% of GDP, and the leading nations are spending 2 to 4% of the GDP. Sir was also mentioning this point, that what is that amount? We are just spending 4% of our total economy on education, which is, as compared to the US $30 trillion economy, they are spending 6%, just marginally more in percentage points, but in terms of value of dollar, that is huge. And then cost disparity, if you see that for every $1 earned from international students, India is spending $9 for sending students abroad. So that means 9 times we are spending more for sending students abroad than what we are earning from students who are coming into the institution. And why this matters, I'm sure this font is a little smaller for all of you, but if we look at the global university rankings, they are all interconnected. The more universities we'll have in global ranking, the more economic competitiveness we'll have, the more innovation capacity we'll have, the more talent we'll retain in the country, and the more knowledge creation will happen also in the country. And a key statistic is, there was a study by the World Bank in which they said that only 48.7% of Indian graduates are employable globally, according to that study. And they see India as more of and they think that in the knowledge economy, universities are not just educational institutions, but they are the economic engines. So that means the growth of a country is coming from its universities and colleges and not from even industry. So in terms of global context, if we see, so top 100 universities, almost 27 universities are from the US, just 17 universities in UK, 11 from China, 7 from Australia, and the rest 38 are distributed in other countries like Germany, Canada, Japan, etc. But none of the Indian universities or none of the Indian institutions are in the global 100. And what drives these global rankings? Now, this is the key figure, because this is going to tell us how much we actually spend on our higher education. So all these global rankings are driven by number one is the research output. So 40% of the ranking criteria is in terms of research, 20% is citation impact, again related with research. So if you combine the first two, it is almost 60% criteria. And then academic reputation is about 15%, international outlook is about 10 to 15%, teaching quality is 10%, and industry connections account for about 5 to 10%. So these are the key criteria on which these global rankings are going on. And again, as I said, student mobility, if we look at that, so almost 6.4 million students are studying outside. In the US, we have about 1.1 million students. In UK, 560,000, Canada, 530,000. And we look at all these figures. And again, as I said, outflow is just 1.1 million and inflow is about 50,000. which is again just very marginal as part of the global $91 billion economy of the international education market. So India is, a lot behind than its competitors. And we are not just bothered about these, developed countries. All other nations are catching up. So in the recent data that was published in China, in the year 2000, there was no university in top 100. But in 2024, that means almost 24 years, the country has progressed so much that there are 11 Chinese universities in top 100. So if we look at India, in 2024, we still have not been able to break the top 100 barrier. Small country like Singapore, I was just seeing what is the area of Singapore. Singapore the area 730 square kilometer hai. Punjab the area 50,000 square kilometer hai. So the size of Punjab is 8 times Singapore, but Singapore has 2 universities in top 50. Do we have any university from India in top 100? No. It's not the size, it's the intent. It's what you focus on. If you look at UAE also has just 3 universities in top 200 in the last 25 years. Even Malaysia had 1 university in top 500, but now they have 5 universities in top 500. So if we look at these small countries, what kind of progress they have made in the last 25 years, India has a lot to catch up to. So what makes a global education hub? अब हम इंडिया को कह रहे हैं कि we want India to be the global education hub. We are inviting, universities from outside. But if we look at the national policies implementation, India की खूबी है कि policy हमारी हमेशा top class होती है, लेकिन implementation जो होती है वो सबसे कमजोर होती है. और यही चीज पहले ग्राफ में दर्शा रहा है. If we look at Singapore, they are 92% implementation rate of their policies. If you look at China, 87%, UAE 87%, India is only, I think so, 56%. So that means we need to put a lot more effort. That is why the government this time is only talking about NEP 2020, NEP 2020. Everywhere we go, it is only about NEP 2020 because we are hell-bent to make this policy, which has come after a gap of about 30 years, over 3 decades, now to succeed, and everybody of us is, focusing our efforts towards achieving this goal. If we look at international faculty, India has, I think so, very, very minimal. I think so the last graph is India's. So we need to increase the number of international faculty. Research funding, that is the biggest drawback of our country. So South Korea is spending about 4.8% of its GDP, and India is spending just 0.7% of its GDP on research, right? When we talk about improving the research output, what are we providing the teachers? Are we providing them seed money? Are we providing them money to do projects? Are we providing them incentives to publish in top journals? No, we are not doing any of these. Thank God we have organizations like UGC or ICSSR or other bodies that provide us some kind of seed monies for doing minor research projects or major research projects, but that is not enough. So that means more, money has to be plowed into the system for improving the research out. In terms of English medium instruction, that is one area where India is, ranked with the topmost countries because English is one of the most common languages being spoken in the country, and that is why our global relevance is there because of English language. But when it comes to industry partnerships, so average per top institution, जो top institution है world की, उनकी industry partnerships कितनी हैं? So USA 100%. That means every top university has industry partnerships. But if you come to India, that is the least. We don't have any industry partnerships. Why NEP 2020 is now talking about partnerships with industry? Because, say for example, social sciences, एक कॉलेज में BA, BSc, BCom की पढ़ाई कराई जाती है. कितने वहां के बच्चे हैं जिनको जॉब्स मिल जाती है ग्रेजुएशन करने के बाद? कितनी कंपनीज हैं जो इन कैंपसेस में जाके रिक्रूटमेंट करती हैं? कितनी कंपनीज हैं जो फ्रेश ग्रेजुएट्स के लिए एडवर्टाइज करती हैं, एक्सेप्ट फॉर इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस जहां पर आप देखते हैं कि ऑन कैंपस प्लेसमेंट्स होती है. These arts and science colleges have nowhere to go. So that means there is a lot to be done to creating partnerships at these levels if we want to get our industry partnerships high. And so what is the current position of the Indian research output? I was interested in, understanding in terms of global ranking. So India ranks 4th globally in the total research output. India ranks 164th in per capital, in research impact in terms of their citations. But if you look at how many research papers we produce per million, that means 10 lakh logon ke piche, we produce only 250 research papers per year, whereas the global average is 1470 research papers. So that means 4 times we still have so much more to do in terms of research. So what has been the journey of the Indian higher education system? Let's not talk historically when we had the Nalandas and the Takshilas. So almost we look at that, the IITs were established in the 1950s and 70s. Privatization happened in 80s to 2000s. And then we had these rankings which were introduced, and the NEP 2020 introduced in the last 2009 to 2020 period. And currently we are at about 58,000 institutions with 43.3 million students. And this is according to the ASH data of 21-22. So we still have 3 more years data to come before we can finalize these figures. But in this evolution, what is our strength? Now that is what we need to focus to. हमें अपनी कमियां तो पता है, पर हमारी strengths क्या है? So we have almost 600 million under the age of 25. We have 11 plus million graduates annually. So we have the second largest English speaking population. Our tuition fees are almost 1/10 of the Western universities. And we have a very robust digital infrastructure which has been created in the last 8 to 10 years, which is now creating that platform to make India, a global emerging educational superpower. So we need to, utilize on the strengths of India. But then if you look at the growth paradox, we are talking about, we have huge numbers, but what has been happening? Sir was just talking about lack of principals. I am talking about, faculty shortage. So we say that we have 58,000 institutions, but almost 30 to 40% positions are vacant. If you look at the top universities of the country and look at those departments and ask them what is the vacancy position right now, 5 साल हो गए हैं ऐड निकाले हुए, 2 साल हो गए हैं इंटरव्यू किए हुए, लोग सिलेक्ट ही नहीं होते. कोई सिलेक्ट होता है तो वो दूसरे पे केस कर देता है कि वो सीनियर है, वो जूनियर है ना. तो ये सिस्टम को हमारे पूरा ऐसा बना दिया गया है कि हम वो कभी फैकल्टी पोजीशंस जो हैं वो पूरी ही नहीं कर सकते हैं. कितनी जगह पे मैं जाता हूं तो वो कहते हैं जी कितनी फैकल्टी है आपके पास, नैक विजिट्स जैसे सर कह रहे हैं, एनबीए विजिट्स करते हैं, तो नैक विजिट्स में जाते हैं, वहां देखते हैं आधे लोग कंट्रेक्चुअल लगे हुए हैं. तो वो कंट्रेक्चुअल क्या लगे हैं, 11 महीने लगते हैं, 1 महीने की छुट्टियां होती हैं, फिर अगले महीने दोबारा अपॉइंट कर लेते हैं. तो वो टीचर से आप अगर एक्सपेक्ट करते हो कि वो अपना फुल टाइम देगा और कॉलेज की ग्रोथ और डेवलपमेंट या यूनिवर्सिटी की ग्रोथ और डेवलपमेंट में योगदान देगा, तो वो नहीं देगा, बिकॉज ही इज ओनली इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर जॉब from that particular time to time. But we require full-time regular teachers in all these universities and colleges to develop these institutions. Then if we have our almost student strength has doubled since 2005. Today we have almost 1100 universities, increased from 272 in 2000, but research funding is only 0.7%. And infrastructure gap is only 3.6% of the GDP spent on education. So sir was right, almost 4%. So 3.6% is just NAC. And this rapid expansion has created quality consistency challenge. That is what we are trying to say, that growth तो हम कर रहे हैं, पर साथ में हम quality की तरफ देख नहीं रहे. Quality की तरफ भी हमें उतना ही ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. So what does the international community think about Indian education? We think we are very good theoretically, है ना? So almost 85 out of 100 theoretically. Mathematics and analytic skills, excellent. IT skills, excellent. Research infrastructure is below par, right? Except for maybe in science, or if we have organizations like DST, or we have fundings for IITs and engineering colleges. But what about social science research? What about research that impacts? What about research in the field of education? How many of the institutions are funding research in the field of education? Hardly. So that means a lot needs to be done. Industry relevance, just 52%. Global exposure, even less. How many of us have global exposure? No. So, and this survey was done by QS, that is the rankings organization. They had an employer survey in which they asked about this. And if you look at the key insight, they say that Indian graduates excel in theoretical foundations, but need greater exposure to global practices and research. So that means that is what the focus of all our educational institutions should be, to enhance our research and to call more people from outside. Now, especially after COVID, we have such now, wonderful means of not having people physically present in the institution. So it will be great to get in touch with global universities, global institutions, or institutions which are teacher education colleges, which are in other countries, to ask their faculty to address, maybe through online mode only, students, and let's try to hear what they have to say about different aspects, and that will be one of the first steps in induction towards global exposure. And then we come to the mother of all, that is the NEP 2020. What does it envisage in its vision? It says that we need to enhance the international student enrollment to almost 500,000. So we are now at 50,000. We want to increase it almost by 10 times by 2030. We want to have at least 25 campuses of global universities in India. अभी वो गिफ्ट सिटी है गुजरात में, जहां पर कैंपसेस जो हैं वो खुलना शुरू हो गए हैं. Australian universities are setting up now. Some universities from UK are also coming up and setting up shop. And then we want to triple the international collaborations. We want to increase the international faculty in India by 40%. And we want to have a graded regulatory system of accreditation and institutional autonomy. So we are going towards all these. That is why the focus on NEP 2020 is there, so that we can compete globally. So some of the success stories that have happened in the last few years are very few, starting with the IITs. So, we had only one IIT in the top 500 in 2010 to now 7 IITs in top 500, with IIT Bombay at number 18. Why have they jumped so much in their rankings, in the QS rankings? Number one is their research publications. So almost 300% jump in research publications. And we've recently seen that all these top institutions have tied up with now publishers like Springer, like Wiley, like Taylor and Francis. And now they are, publishing research in all these topmost journals where citations have increased. So the research output has increased by 300%. Almost, international collaborations with 150 plus global university partnerships, and industry funding of about 850 crores has increased, in these IITs. That is why their rankings have increased so much. So in terms of IIT Bombay, because since that is the only one university in the top 200, so I just took an example. So in 2018, IIT Bombay was ranked 219th. Whereas in 2025, it is ranked 118. So almost a jump of, 100 points. And why this has happened? Because research focus was there. Citations increased by 240%. Faculty recruitment, 28% with international experience faculty they got. Industry innovations, over 40 startups annually were incubated at IIT. And then international partnerships increased by almost 65, which these targeted interventions yielded a 70-point ranking improvement in the last 6 years. So, जब तक हम ये सब चीजें अपनी institutions में नहीं करेंगे, तब तक हमारे बाकी institutions की ranking जो है वो improve नहीं होगी. And this is a big, corollary, because all these institutions are either funded by the government or they have huge alumni base or they have huge industry partnerships which are contributing towards their growth and development, whereas our institutions lack that kind of infrastructure. We have no support from the government. We have very little support from our alumni in terms of financial resources. They may come and contribute in their own way in improving the college services or in, helping the students or mentoring them. But how much, financial help our alumni provides? Hardly anything. So these are some of the key factors we need to look at. And some of the other private universities which have, succeeded are like BITS Pilani and Manipal, because these are some of the universities which have now got global campuses. Even institutions, like Amity have now got global campuses. So they have global campus network. International student growth is almost 300%. In the last 4 or 5 years, the government has been allowing educational institutions to, admit students from abroad. So if you have good hostels, if you have good facilities, so there are certain criteria. If you fulfill those, you are allowed to admit, foreign students, and that would be enhancing your, intake in terms of financial fee that you receive in the year. And then accreditations and achievements, international recognitions, all of these universities are now ranked in the Times Higher Education or the QS rankings. Their ROI matrix, has increased. Their brand value has increased by over 200%. Their students' employability has increased by over 90%. If the IITs did 850 crores, these institutions did about 120 crores in their annual research, commercialization. And then, so strategic internationalization transformed the institutional capabilities and global perception. So that means all of us also need to develop our own strategies to compete at this level. So some of the key success factors were leadership committed. Now this is very important. So as sir was saying, principally nahi hai institutions में. तो यहाँ पर स्टैटिस्टिक शो करता है कि अगर किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन की लीडरशिप टीम 7 साल से ज्यादा रह जाती है, तो उस इंस्टीट्यूशन की ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट जो है वो एक्सपोनेंशियल हो जाती है. पर हमारे यहाँ पर एवरेज जो है दैट इज जस्ट 3.2 years इन नॉन इंप्रूविंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस. जिन इंस्टीट्यूशंस में इंप्रूवमेंट नहीं हुई है, वहां पर देखा गया कि एवरेज लीडरशिप की जो शेल्फ लाइफ है दैट इज जस्ट 3.2 years. So that means 3.2 years is a very less time to judge an institution's progress of give somebody time to work on an institution. Then 85% of the rising institutions implemented governance reforms in preceding 5 years. यानी कि अगर 7 साल लीडरशिप थे, उसमें से 5 साल तो उनको रिफॉर्म्स को इंप्लीमेंट करने में लग गए, तब 7 साल के बाद जाके वो रिजल्ट्स निकले. So that means everything will require time, money, effort, and almost 7 years at least. Institutions with clear internationalization strategies improved rankings by 2.7%. जिन institutions ने international tie-ups किए, बाहर से लोगों को बुलाया, स्टूडेंट्स को एक्सपोजर दिया, या इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम्स किए, या किसी तरह से भी किसी टाई अप के थ्रू स्टूडेंट्स को एक्सपोजर प्रोवाइड किया, वहां पर हमने देखा कि उन इंस्टीट्यूशंस की रैंकिंग जो थी वो ऑलमोस्ट डबल या ट्रिपल हो गई. देन स्ट्रेटेजिक रिसोर्स एलोकेशन. सो जो राइजिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस थी उन्होंने ऑलमोस्ट 42% रिसर्च पे पैसा खर्च किया एज कंपेयर टू 58% टू टीचिंग. टीचिंग रिक्वायर्स लेस infrastructure, less expenditure, research requires more. जो static institutions रही या जो institutions grow नहीं की, they spent only 22% on research and 78% on teaching, right? Like sir was saying, we require banking, not banks, right? So education, not educational institutions. So I think teachers की तो जरूरत पड़ेगी because self-learning is only up to a certain level, but we don't require maybe all teachers to be present face to face conducting. So like you were saying, 2 crore students would require probably 10 lakh teachers, maybe 1 lakh teachers if we have the ratio of 1:20. So that is not physically possible. And similarly, international faculty recruitment. So all those institutions that are rising in the country had 18% enhanced international faculty over 5 years. Top Chinese universities. So China has to compete globally, and English is not their major language. So they recruited 26% more international faculty to improve their rankings. And the correlation coefficient between international faculty and rankings is almost 0.72, which is high correlation. So that means the more international exposure, the more international faculty, the better will be your rankings. And global partnerships. So quality over quantity. Institutions with 15 to 20 deep partnerships outperform those with 40 plus shallow partnerships. So हमसे अब NAC में हम जाते हैं तो पूछते हैं कितने MOU हैं जी आपके, तो हम कहते हैं 40 MOU हैं जी, 50 MOU हैं, बट वर्किंग MOU कितने हैं? I am very happy to say that we have a very positive working MOU with G.H.G. Khalsa College of Education. So our students came here, we had a student exchange program, their faculty comes and presents, papers at our conferences, our faculty is presenting papers at their conferences. We did a joint research study together. So in the last 2 years of our partnership, 5 or 6 programs have already happened. But there may be other colleges with which they also have partnerships. We also have partnerships, but maybe just one activity per year. So that means these institutions where the quality of partnership is more important than quantity of partnerships. And then joint research output increased citations by 3.2%. Dual degree programs showed 4.1% increase in ROI. Dual degree programs means that we study one degree at one institution and then continue the degree at the other institution. So that is an excellent way of doing things. And then industry alignment. So all these things, if we look at the data point, is institutions that increased research funding by greater than 50%, saw 3.2% improvement in global rankings over 5 years. That means that is the crux of the situation. We need to enhance our funding for research. So global impact of Indian graduates. Now, this is a very interesting thing. Despite whatever we say to our education system, it is the Indian graduates who have gone abroad are actually doing wonders. So 30% of the Fortune 500 CEOs of Indian origin, 2 or 3 CEOs you can just name on your list, like from Google, who's an Indian origin. There may be 10 other people whom you can easily name from Indian origin. So our Indian graduates are doing great. Patents are being filed by Indian graduates globally. Citation impact in strategic fields is increasing. Companies founded by Indian university alumni, almost $500 billion in global economic value are being created by institutions which are being run by Indians. So that means our students have a lot of potential and they are creating a great global impact. So let us see what strategic framework for global competitiveness do we need to adopt. And this is the 5-pillar approach that every educational institution needs to adopt in India. Number 1 is research excellence. We need key to innovation and academic reputation. Global faculty development. We need to enhance the quality of our faculty. International student experience. We need to promote cultural exchange and diversity. Digital transformation. We need to integrate technology for modern education because technology is the only way forward. And then industry academia synergy, which is the industry partnership. These 5 pillars, research, faculty, international students, digital transformation, and industry academia synergy are key 5 pillars for Indian institutions to compete globally. So in terms of research, what we need to do, we need to have high impact research areas. So that means focus on areas with significant potential. What is our habit? We don't focus on a single area. There are 10 faculty members in the college, all 10 are taking up different areas of research. What happens at the end? No impact of any research. If you are good in technology, then put all your efforts in towards technology. If you are good in student experience, put all your research efforts in improving student experiences. If best practices are the way forward to taking educational institutions, let's put all our efforts in improving those best practices and developing our research in improving those. So we need to have more focused research, because I'm talking about our colleges, especially in social sciences, teacher education. in IITs, there are silos. We have Department of Mechanical Engineering that is focusing purely on mechanical. There may be computer science on computer science, right? But what about us? We say that human behavior is so complex that it is not, it's difficult to understand the diversity of our thought process and our behavior. So that is why our research is also so diverse. But it is now time to get, if we are good in psychology, if we are good in educational psychology, let's put all our efforts in improving the psychological aspects of educational systems in our colleges. So we need to have more focused approach. Then citation multiplier effect with international collaborations. If we have to publish, if we have to be known globally, then we have to either publish in international journals or we need to partner with international organizations so that our citations become better. Then funding allocation, we need to have a good optimization model for funding. Some of the key metrics are that international co-authorship improves your citation impact. Strategic field focus is 3 times better ROI. And then if you have industry funded research, and so there is better chance, almost 2.5 times chance of commercialization of that particular research. And then what our strategy should be, we need to target 30% international collaborations in priority research areas. That is what our target has to be. Similarly, in terms of global faculty and student ecosystem, so if we look at faculty internationalization, top 100 global universities almost have 38 to 45% international faculty. Visiting faculty is there. They have the visiting faculty program. Top 200 to 300 institutions have almost 28 to 35% international faculty. There is international student diversity. So the economic impact, if you see, almost 35 to 40 lakh per international student you can gain annually if you have these students. Top recruiters are currently in China, Malaysia, and the UAE. Similarly, if you look at the global classroom integration collaboration for online international learning, almost 92% they consider it cost effective. So if they don't have teachers, they don't worry about it. They'll get a teacher from abroad, they'll get a teacher from any other institution who will come and teach their students internationally, get the class over with, get the syllabus over with. You don't require a physical teacher now. So where this is happening, almost, this has brought down the cost of hiring teachers. Then joint curriculum development. This is a great strategy for improving your rankings. Similarly, if you look at the data correlation, 25% of international faculty correlates to 60 plus ranking positions. So when in next time you have the NAC or the NBA or the NIRF and you say that you have so much international faculty, automatically your ranking amongst other Indian institutions will increase. So we need to focus on such data points as well. And in terms of digital transformation and industry synergy, we need to, if we have a global classroom reach, if one of your faculty members teaches, say for example, a particular topic so well, why can't she take a class for the global students? You host a class on your Moodle platform, or you prepare a MOOC that can be given for the global students. You'll see that as the number of students who appreciate your work, more enrollments for those programs, popularity of the teacher increases. Enroll yourself on platforms like Udemy, where you could teach a class to the global audience. So we need to use all these digital transformation tools to enhance your reach. Similarly, research collaboration efficiency, we need to increase it almost 3 times. And then this will increase your international visibility metrics by about 70%. So we need to have joint R&D centers with institutions. We need to have problem-based, curriculum. And we need to have a system of, ecosystem of innovation and startups in our institutions. So it has been seen that digitally transformed institutions show 40% better internationalization metrics with 30% lower costs. So digital is the way to go. And if you look at the investment impact model, let me not go into the details, but what I want to say is that if we increase the funding for investments, for example, National University of Singapore in the last 15 years, because of its investment, has reached from number 80th to 11 globally. Similarly, university in China in the last 12 years from 71 to 14. So some of the key metrics is they believe that if you invest 1 rupee in research infrastructure, you'll get 4.2 rupees in return. If you invest in faculty development, 1 rupee, you will get 3.8 rupees in return. And if you invest in international partnerships, you'll get 5.1 rupees in return. So that means almost 3 to 5% return on investment. And somebody did a very good calculation that if some university needs to invest about 100 crore rupees, in what all area they need to spend. So almost 10-12% in digital transformations, 12 to 15% in student experiences, 15 to 18% in international partnerships, faculty is about 22%, but research infrastructure is about 38%. So the amount of money that you need to spend to make your institution global is this. So what are the now phases for implementation? In phase one, what do we need to do is we need to create a policy. So let NEP 2020 be the guiding force, and based on that NEP 2020, we need to create our own policy. We need to create the capacity development. That means training of teachers, training of students, training of our manpower, and then develop partnerships. Let's start talking to people. Let's start talking to institutions and create these partnerships. And in phase two, let us work on research, let us work on international integration, and let us work on digital transformation. And in the last phase, what will these two phases lead to? It will lead to your research leadership. It will lead to development of an educational hub. And what is the target metrics that the government is saying? That we need to have 5 Indian universities in the global top 100 and 20 in the top 500 by 2030. That is what the target is. So if we implement these 3-phase formula, we'll be able to do that. And this is an institutional metrics as to where we need to do. So on the left-hand side, we have the impact, and on the bottom, we have the resource. So there are some activities which are high impact, low resources. So that means institutions can have high impact, but it will require very low resources. And then we will have medium impact and low resources. Then we have high impact and high resources. And then we have some transformational investments, which is again in developing research infrastructure and joint international programs. Whereas we can always start with international collaborations, research incentive schemes, and then global benchmarking, adaptation, etc., to start with the aligning our institutions globally. And then what is now the policy enabling us to do? Number one, regulatory flexibility. The NEP 2020 is giving us a lot of flexibility towards autonomy metrics. So a lot of new autonomous colleges are being given by the UGC. I'll request Professor Pargat Singh to kindly look at that and see if GHG Khalsa College can apply for an autonomous status. That will be great. And then the allocation formulas have been developed, how much money needs to be allocated for what. We are following now quality assurance framework, so international benchmarking, so a lot of QS rankings, Times Higher Education rankings we are doing, our own NIRF rankings are there. And then academic mobility policies are being given. A lot of visas are being given for international students to come to India. Indian students are being given a lot of visas. However, we have seen in recent times countries like Australia and Canada are reducing visas for number of students in the country. And then also we are enhancing our industry partnerships, and the impact indicators is like the policy reform correlation and then rankings improvement. And coming to our last part, so what this transformation journey needs to bring, we need to have like before 0 universities in top 100. So now by 2030 we need to have 5 universities. What we need to do is investment creates a triple return. So the more investment we make, what are we trying to achieve? We are trying to retain our talent. We are trying to retain the best of the best in India. We are trying to focus on knowledge creation. We are trying to focus on the economic growth. And some critical numbers is we want to reach up to 2.4% potential additional GDP growth annually, 50% reduction in brain drain, and then 5 times increase in international students. That is what is the journey. And so what is our action plan going to be? Our action plan is going to be, number one, we need to benchmark our institutions against global standards. If we don't do that, we'll never know where we stand and where we need to go. So benchmarking is very important. So we can use the 5-pillar format and we can identify our own unique competitive advantage. we can develop our strategic roadmap with clear metrics. So we need to develop a strategic roadmap. So every institution, if you've seen recently, UGC has come out with a document called the Institutional Development Plan. They are asking all institutions to develop their 5-year, 10-year plans. So that means you have to develop a plan. Also, you have to develop the action, steps to be taken to achieve those plans, and by when and what resources will you allocate to achieve those plans. So it is not just ki I am going to have 10 times more research output, but what will you do to do that? Whether you are going to incentivize your faculty, whether you are going to provide seed money for research projects, whether you are going to sponsor their participation in research conferences and publications. So you need to chalk out a plan to do this, and your strategic roadmap needs to be clear. And last but not the least, take action. A plan without action is of no use. So we need to act. That means implement with measurement and adaptation. Where we need to adopt, we need to adopt things from others. Where we need to adapt, we need to change according to the changing situations. But we need to implement this. And to end, I would just like to say that be the catalyst that transforms Indian education. The world is watching. The time for action is now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a very illustrative and informative session, and your perspective and expertise have really added to the proceedings of the seminar. We would like to accord a very warm welcome on the behalf of the management, principal, faculty of G.H.G. Khalsa College of Education to our revered resource person, Dr. Jaspal Singh, Directorate of Distance Education, University of Jammu. I request Principal Sir to please accord a floral welcome to the guest. Thank you, sir. We got a warm welcome to Dr. Shweta from G.H.G College of Law, Sidhwa Khurd, Dr. Amandeep Kaur, Principal G.H.G College of Education, Sidhwa Khurd, Sardar Gunab Singh, Principal Ajit Sir, Secondary Khalsa Senior School, Jangpur, Dr. Sharanjeet Kaur Parmar, Principal Sahibzada Zorawar Singh, Government College, Burj Hari Singh, Raikot. We welcome all the dignitaries in today's proceedings. We are really blessed today that since morning we have our dynamic management headed by President Sir Sardar Manjeet Singh Gill and our Secretary Sir Dr. S.S. Thin with us today. I would request Dr. S.S. Thin to please share his words of wisdom and his insight.
Thank you, Madam, for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I congratulate our very dynamic and young principal, Dr. Pargat Garcha, for inviting such a galaxy of intellectuals to speak on such an important topic, that is the changes in dawn for higher education. And I'm fortunate to hear two excellent lectures by Dr. Ravinder Singh and just recently there were lecture by you, sir. So I won't take much time because you have to do so many discussions and hear so many presentations. The crux of the matter which I heard in the first two presentations. First, as the requirement of the new policy. new policy was, as Dr. Ravinder Singh told, it was long overdue, very long overdue. Means it has created a huge gap between the international education and the education we are having here. So, and it has mostly good points only, as the world is changing, and maybe some minor problems must be there that can be fixed, but overall good policy. Maybe its implementation was imposed from above, not well discussed in public domain, maybe having some problems due to that. Secondly, it's, as Dr. Palgar told, almost half a decade has gone, but on ground, hardly anything has happened in the implementation of this policy. And we have good students, we have good teachers like you all sitting here, but unless the whole policy system of implementation from the top doesn't begins, what can we do at the middle or the ground level? Education is a state subject, and states are already, as we know, how much they can more contribute to education. And as we have seen in road and rail infrastructure, central government has taken it as a capex expenditure at a very high level. So to improve the education also, central government has to take the funding to a level which they have taken for roads or railway infrastructure, and the returns, as we say, from road infrastructure will be huge, and returns from education will be much more than even what we are getting from the infrastructure. As I heard from the first two speakers, we are spending only 0.7% of our GDP on R&D. Even out of the 0.75%, bulk of that is going to central institutes like or the central organizations, CSIR, or maybe DFRL, Defense Research Laboratories, or agriculture research. And I think universities are getting even less than half of that. While the young people who have the potential to grow, they have the zeal to grow. They are not getting enough backing for the research or good quality of teachings. So massive investments are required. So unless that occurs, I think policy implementation will be very difficult to move forward. And thirdly, I would say a lot of, even if funding is adequate, if we don't go for good governance, that will not yield the results. So where should we spend and how much output we get? As sir, you told, we have faculty shortage, no doubt we have. But if you say, see the posts in Indian state universities, faculty versus the non-teaching. So non-teaching staff is much more than the faculty positions, and pay scales, even non-teaching staff has also very high pay scales these days. So are they, this is the right type of spending, as you are telling that we require banking, not the banks. Similarly, with AI coming, do we need so many clerical staff or others to manage? So that type of funding can go into better quality of research, or we are not able to upgrade our faculty because, say, private colleges, they don't have money to pay the salaries. We can't send teachers to the seminars or some, although we want to do it. So it requires a lot of effort from the top to bring about these changes. So these are one of the 2 points which I thought may be important for your further deliberations, and wishing the faculty and the participants from other colleges and universities, hope they will have their time spent will be worth it, and you'll enjoy the hospitality of our college. Thank you very much, sir.
Please.
Thank you so much, sir. Your vision and your dynamic support to us is always very important in leading us towards success. We welcome Madam Navneet Kaur from Guru Har Krishan Public School. And now we will be proceeding to the next theme of the seminar. It is my immense pleasure and pride to welcome Professor Dr. Jitendra Grover, a distinguished professor in Department of Education at Punjab University, Chandigarh, former Dean of Student Welfare, Dean of the Faculty of Education and Coordinator of the Center for Academic Leadership and Educational Management under PMM NMTT, Ministry of Education. Dr. Grover has made significant contributions both in research and academic administration. He is a highly active research guide and has nearly taken up 16 sponsored projects, published nearly 46 research papers, and contributed 6 book chapters, while also playing a pivotal role in organizing numerous national and international conferences and faculty development programs. Sir has also taken a lot of initiative in centralized admissions for B.Ed programs and coordinating a campus yoga camp. His extensive involvement as a speaker is evident. Sir has delivered more than 55 talks and chaired more than 50 sessions at prestigious institutions. Today, Sir is with us and he will be deliberating on the theme, addressing the employability gap through curriculum redesign. For the next 25 minutes, we will be having an enlightening session from Sir. Sir, you are please requested to share your words of wisdom.
Good afternoon. मैंने लगा 12 o'clock हो गया, मैं टाइम देखा नहीं वैसे. So management of the college, principal Pargat ji, principal former principal साढ़े senior J.S. Brad ji, H.S. Brad ji भी बैठे हैं. My fellow colleague Dr. Ravi Indra ji, and the other speakers of the day. The topic given to me by Pargat ji is related to addressing the employability gap through curriculum redesign in India. So the earlier speakers have spoken on what are the gaps, what are the problems, what are the challenges to education in India. But I must say that if you see the main IT companies are, that one is CEOs are from India. And those people are regulating the things, coordinating the things at world level. But still, we are lagging that our students are not getting jobs, are not being absorbed in good companies, good institutions. Whenever there is a selection panel is there, of education colleges, because I'm a student of education. So in teacher education, whenever there is a panel, there are 5 posts and 5 persons will apply on. So that means jobs are there, but people are not there. And whenever there is interview of this for teacher education for B.Ed or M.Ed colleges, if we ask them about their basic subject, about their parent subject, if he is MSc chemistry and M.Ed, if we ask him something about MSc chemistry or chemistry, those are blank one. So there are some gaps in our education system, in our curriculum, transactions. There are some gaps. So due to that, we could not find good candidates. As sir, that is sir from Jammu, from Meyer College, I forget your name, sorry, please. So please, your name. So he said this, that for ranking, we have to hire the faculty from other countries, foreign countries. Then we get the good rank. Why don't we do the effort to make our students the global leaders? Why we are lagging behind from that area? Why we are saying that we have to hire the global faculty? Why we are saying that we have to hire the foreign faculty? Why we are not being hired by the foreign universities? That is a big question for us. That is a big question for our teachers. Funding is there. I say funding is there, but sorry, in India, the funding is going down. Yesterday, I was coming back from Delhi. So we 3 persons were in the car. One is a computer engineer, and other one is a medico. He was a radiologist. We have gone to ICMR for some project work. So 3 were sitting, and I'm discussing कि मैं कल lecture देने जाना है. ठीक है. He asked me कि कादा lecture देना है. I lecture देना this one. So we shared many things there. So we got the funds, but only few are getting the funds. Why only few are getting the funds? Because when you go to for this project funding at UGC, if you see from the North India, basically from Punjab, if there are 40 persons applying for the project, only 1 or 2 will be from the Punjab. Or from the North India, maximum 7 to 8. If you see the percentage is very less. Because we are not research oriented. We are not doing research. So those problems are there. And during the COVID period, before COVID, I got this project of this Center for Academic Leadership and Educational Management. I got this center from Government of India, Ministry of Education, that costs around 7 crore rupees. And we get the money, we get every penny from the center, from the Ministry of Education. When we organized the programs during COVID, that is after lockdown on 20th or 23rd March, that is on 4th April, we started the first course in online mode and with Zoom meeting. That one is Zoom meeting. So we were not aware. I'm a student of education technology. I did my PhD in education technology, but I was not aware that is how to run this. I was aware, but I have never tried this. That is how to use this Zoom meeting. So we have taken only 80 participants in the first batch. And we started with that. That is how to develop, how to use the IT, how to use the IT resources, open education resources. So on the 3rd day, that is, we got a request from our teachers. Maximum teachers are from the Punjab University. We got a request from them कि सानू PPT बनानी सिखा दो. ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ OER ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ use ਕਰਨਾ. So ਸਾਨੂੰ first request ਆਈ, and those are that one is senior teachers. Those are not the junior teachers. So that means we are not practicing those things. Those things are not in our curriculum. We say IT infrastructure is there. As the COVID ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ IT infrastructure ਕੀ ਸੀਗਾ colleges ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ? LCD projector ਲੱਗਿਆ, that is screen ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, that is the only, that college is using IT, that college is using ICT infrastructure. But after COVID, as Ravinder ji said, कि 2 lakh ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ teacher teach ਕਰ ਲੇਗਾ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ. but मेरा थोड़ा जा आई एम ए स्टूडेंट ऑफ एजुकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी में पीएचडी भी एजुकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी ते बहुत कराती है ठीक है प्रोजेक्ट भी कर लिया आप भी पीएचडी की टेक्नोलॉजी ते बट नाउ आई डिफर समवट कि ਜਿਹੜੀ टेक्नोलॉजी है is somewhat good but it should not be our boss we should not depend only on technology ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਟੀਚ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਮੋਡ ਹੈ ਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲ plus technology we have to use we have not to depend upon only technology क्योंकि ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ that is so much motivated learner नहीं है that is a problem for professional growth it can be used but for teaching the students at college level or at school level we have not to dependent upon this however in Australia and foreign countries virtual universities खुल गया है ਸਾਡੇ भी virtual universities बन रही है but we have to check ਹੁਣ MOOCs ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਪੀਕਰਸ ਨੇ MOOCs ਦੀ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ that is MOOC ਦਾ success rate ਦੇਖੋ MOOC the enrollment rate, then retention rate, then success rate. Research has shown that success rate lies between 3% to 19% only. And retention rate is almost the same one. So how we enroll for MOOCs, as we motivate okay, that one is we join the MOOC courses. As beginners bahut vadiya hai, but finishers, we are not good finishers. That is the success rate. If we are good finishers, that is the success rate. So we have to think what are the problems there in our curriculum transactions, in our curriculum, in our procedures of teaching, procedures of learning. Only then we can improve the skills of our kids. There is a author, मैं बहुत बार example देना होना, Yuval Noah Harari is one of the author. He has written 3 books, Sapiens, then 21 Lessons for 21st Century. I always recommend कि ਜਿਹੜੇ B.Ed ਦੇ student ਹੈ ਜਾਂ M.Ed ਦੇ student ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ book ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪੜ੍ਹਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ. In that he said this, he has written कि a kid born in 2015 will be of 25 years in 2040. And in 2040, due to this AI, this data analysis, big data analysis, the whole system will change. The jobs we are doing today, the jobs will be different one. ਉਦੋਂ 2 ਲੱਖ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਟੀਚ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈ ਸਕਦਾ that is how to teach those 2 lakh students how to take the queries of those 2 lakh students how to cater to those 2 lakh students those will be the challenges for the teachers and jobs will be ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ jobs ਹੈ typing ਵਾਲੀਆਂ jobs ਜਾਂ jobs ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ librarian ਵਾਲੀਆਂ jobs those are going away so how to tackle those problems that we have to think now otherwise in 2040 ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਟੀਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ and we have not developed any new skills among them then there will be a problem everywhere in the world and in our country also so we start here that is first thing is ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਪੀਕਰਸ ਨੇ those have told ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਜੀ ਇਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਲਓ ਜੀ दूसरा ये so I talk that is our jada sada graduates hai those are not very much employable बढ़िया ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ studies ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਵਾਲੇ speakers ਨੇ ਵੀ studies ਦੱਸਿਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਕਸਿਮਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਟਸ ਹੈ more than 45% are not employable due to various reasons ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ various reasons ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ employable ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ that those reasons are that is those are not skilled ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੇ skills ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ second ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੇ soft skills ਹੈ those are that is 45.9% only 45.9% are considered employable and it is the data given by an agency who has done survey on these students so only we see that more than 50% are not employable and though there are various reasons and due to that our economic progress is going down that is colleges are there engineering colleges are there I must say also there are colleges of education also where we are giving training to the teachers but those teachers with all respect I say those are not employable ਜਿੱਥੇ non attending ਚੱਲ ਰਹੇ colleges ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ teachers how we say those will be employable those will having some skills that will be a different problem So there is employability gap. There is a major employability gap that is 9.7% in 2024. That is reported youth unemployment rate of 9.2% in 2024. And it is increasing day by day, increase over day by day. Then there is a report, then 17% of engineers possess the skills required for AI, data science, and other emerging technologies. That means 83% are not having those skills, and that is again a problem. And 10% graduates have only communication skills, leadership skills, problem-solving skills for today's workshop. Today's workplace, we need problem-solving skills, team-making skills, then decision-making skills, communication skills. We don't have those skills. Our graduates are lacking on those skills. That is a major problem. And causes of, we come on to the causes of employability. One is outdated curriculum. We say our curriculum is outdated. We are teaching them the outdated things. We are not teaching them the new things. As Ravindra ji has told that ਅਸੀਂ 6 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ 3 option ਹੀ ਦਿੰਨੇ ਆ. Same as in MEd. In MEd there are 5 options in the 4th semester. And ਅਸੀਂ ਹਾਲੇ ਵੀ students ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਨੇ ਆ there are no teachers available to teach economics of education. Economics of education teach ਕਰਨ ਲਈ teacher ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. We will give 3 options only. You have to take only these 3 options. That is happening in all the colleges. In university, it is also happening. So that is outdated curriculum nahi hai. That is a curriculum. Which curriculum we are following that? ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ curriculum ਵੀ ਪੂਰਾ teach ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ curriculum ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪੂਰਾ teach ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. Second ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ curriculum ਹੈ generally ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ when a student do MA ਜਾਂ B.Ed ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ MA B.Ed ਕਰਕੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਟੀਚਰ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲਾ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਜੇ MA ਦਾ ਨੈਟ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਜਾਂ MEd ਕਰਕੇ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲਾ ਜਾਏਗਾ. But so many avenues are there. With that curriculum, so many avenues are there. A student having masters in literature can be accommodated in script writing. That is for films, script writers are there. For now there is OTT platform, script writers are required. Then for that one is making the advertisement. For advertisement, the content likhna, there are many people. One of our colleague, that is Rana Ranbir, is done MA B.Ed only. And is writing movies, and for a movie, he is charging more than 2 crore rupees. For writing the script of a movie, he is charging 2 crore rupees. One of my colleague, she's a storyteller. She's done only masters in English. She's not B.Ed, she's not MEd, she's not PhD, she is not MPhil, kuch nahi hai. But for in a month, ek month de vich, ek professor nalo, ek principal nalo, zyada paise kama rahi hai. Only that she has a talent, she has a skill. पढ़िया उन्हें भी वही है, MA English मैं कीती है तो MA English उन्होंने कीती है. That is only that skill she has taken कि how to tell the story. So those things are there. Then political writers, that is election ਸਾਰਾ ਸਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ speeches ਲਿਖਣੀਆਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ slogans ਲਿਖਣੇ ਆ. That is those people, hire those people. Then you can do surveys for that one is the government. You can do surveys for the political people, political parties. So many job avenues are there. Only thing is how we transact that curriculum. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ curriculum ਹੈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ transact ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ one line ਤੇ show ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ track ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ tracks ਵੀ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. Those things we have to tell in our curriculum. Then limited, that one is workplace exposure. That is Germany ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ there is a system of dual, that is not dual degree, dual exposure is there. That is for 1 month you go to the industry, you go to your workplace, and for 1 month you go to the institution. First 1 month you go to the institution, or for first 3 months you go to the institution, you learn something and then you apply that thing in an industry. जैसे B.Ed करा रहे हैं ਅਸੀਂ 3 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਪੜਾਇਆ, 1 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ those will apply, those will observe. Then same thing will happen for 2 or 3 years or 4 years degree program. That means those are getting an exposure, first-hand experience to apply those skills which those have learned during their learning period. But in India, we are lacking that. So that those type of things, that is exposure to workplace, exposure to industry, exposure to that one is working condition is required. Only then employability gap will be less. Then only our skills can be a good one. That one is IIT, that one is Hyderabad, is one of the good, that one is engineering institute. That IIT Hyderabad every year advertise that one is positions for internship only for second year student. जो second year the student engineering कर रहे हैं उन्हें लिए internship दिया, that means vacancies advertise कर दिया, that is only 50 vacancies and from whole India people participate there. जितने भी engineering students हैं, अच्छे engineering students हैं, those participate there, and there is an online examination, and in first batch those will choose only 150 selected. 150 will be there, and those 150 will be invited to IIT Hyderabad with full scholarship, with full fellowship. By air bhi ja sakte hain tusi. Everything will be that one is every cost will be that one is given by IIT Hyderabad. Then out of 150, 50 will be selected in IIT Hyderabad internship period. Those 50 will be sent to the America or South Korea. 25 will be, first 25 will be sent to one of the good laboratory or that is one of the good institution in USA, and 25 will be sent to that one is South Korea, good lab of South Korea for 2 months internship. So you see that is how those people are giving an exposure to the students who are doing engineering in second year only. So these type of things are required if we want that there should be workplace exposure. That is, workplace means work exposure. That is how to give them the work exposure. Then there is that is soft skills. In soft skills, I worked as a Dean Student Welfare of Punjab University. ਸਾਡੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਜਾਂ ਹਰਿਆਣੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ ਕਿ ਨਾਰੇ ਲਗਾਉਣੇ ਆ, ਨਾਰੇ ਲਗਾਉਣ ਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਚੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਾਏ ਹਾਏ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਬਟ ਇਫ ਯੂ ਸੀ ਆਸਕ them ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੁਝ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਆਓ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ, ਤਾਂ ਬਰਾੜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਰੇਕ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੇ, ਬਹੁਤ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਹੈ, ਹਰੇਕ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ ਰੱਖੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਿਖਣਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਅੱਛੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ। ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਜਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜਾਂ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਚ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ। That means ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ soft skills ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ those are very poor. Those can't tell us ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ issue ਕੀ ਹੈ, proper issue ਕੀ ਹੈ। ਇੱਕ ਜਣਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਦੱਸੇਗਾ, second ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਦੱਸੇਗਾ। That is giving you the ground example। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚਾ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਰਿਹਾ, that is a student of MA, master degree ਦਾ student ਹੋਏਗਾ ਜਾਂ engineering ਦਾ student ਹੋਏਗਾ, those are lacking on these soft skills, and it is happening all over. So that those soft skills, that is like communication, how to communicate, that is how to talk, that is how to greet others, then second how to solve the problem, how to decide, how to think critically. That is those are the, we say these are the life skills. There is a psychologist, Ranjekar is a psychologist, Indian psychologist. He's given, agar बच्चे ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਖਰੀਦਣ ਲਈ ਭੇਜਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਖਰੀਦਣ ਲਈ ਭੇਜਦੇ ਆ, ਤਾਂ 9 ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਕਿੱਲਸ, 9 ਸਕਿੱਲਸ ਦੈਟ ਕਿਡ ਵਿਲ ਲਰਨ। ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਕਿੱਲਸ ਹੈ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਖਰੀਦਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਹੈ, ਬਟ ਆਵਰ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਆਰ ਨਾਟ ਬੀਇੰਗ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਡ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਕਿੱਲਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਇੰਬਾਈਬ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਨਕਲਕੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ in day-to-day life. That is a major problem ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਸੌਫਟ ਸਕਿੱਲਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਟੀਮ ਮੇਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਟੀਮ ਨੂੰ ਲੀਡ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, those are lacking. Then next one is limited vocational training. Again, it is related to the workplace. Vocational training is very less. That is, I did BA of 3 years. My father has done BA of 2 years. Now my kid will do BA of 4 years. Okay? And I have done B.Ed of 1 year. You have done B.Ed of 2 years. Now B.Ed again is of 1 year. So that is we have changed the scenario of B.Ed 1 year to 2 year because there was no vocational training. Again, we are coming on to that. That is 2 to 1 year kar deo ji on the which. So those things, how to give them the vocational training? How to give them a training to imbibe the skills of vocation, required professional skills among themselves. That is a requirement. However, in our curriculum, everything is there. But how many of us are practicing those things? How many of us that one is doing those things in a religious way? That is a major problem. Then key strategies ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. Same strategies are, that is industry linkages, that is workplace linkages. We have to send our kids to see, that is the various working conditions. We go to the university. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਕਈ ਜਾਣੇ ਗਏ ਹੋਗੇ. ਪੰਜਾਬ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 9 museums ਹੈ. There are 9 museums in Punjab University. I ask you, you raise hand ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ 9 museum ਦੇਖੇ. And we have, many of you will not be aware ਕਿ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 9 museums ਵੀ ਹੈ. ਸਾਈਕਲੋਟ੍ਰੋਨ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ, but we are not aware. We gone there. ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਚਾਹ ਪੀ ਕੇ ਚੱਕਰ ਲਗਾ ਕੇ, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਗੇੜੀ ਮਾਰਨਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, ਗੇੜੀ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ. But we have not gone there. ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ kids ਨੂੰ, Government of India has given that is money for excursion tour. ਇੱਕ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ schools ਦੇ excursion tour. ਜੇ ਕੋਈ government school ਵਾਲੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ. Government is giving the grant. ਪੰਜਾਬ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਘੁੰਮ ਕੇ ਚਾਹ ਪੀ ਕੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. That is not excursion tour. Educational tour ਹੈ. Educational tour, you ask them to see that one is geology ਦਾ museum ਦੇਖੋ, geology ਦਾ museum ਦੇਖੋ, cyclotron ਦੇਖੋ, that is botany ਵਾਲੇ ਦਾ museum ਦੇਖੋ. That is those things are available. That is only if you go to America ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, New York ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, many museums, there are big museums. Why those museums are there? On the picture, there is some philosophy. That is, those people got motivated. Those people got some idea what our ancestors have done and how the evolution is there. How the evolution has happened. So those things has some motive, has some philosophy. But we are not making them. We never take them to the industry. Industry नहीं लेके जाते. Engineering colleges ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ we never take them to industry. ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਰ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਬੈਂਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਬੈਂਕ ਦਾ ਅਕਾਊਂਟ ਖੋਲਿਆ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਬੈਂਕ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਈ. ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ IPO ਲੈਣੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ? IPO ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ? ਬੈਂਕ ਦੀ ਸਲਿੱਪ, ਇਸੇ ਕਿ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੈਸ਼ ਕਢਵਾਉਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਬੈਂਕ ਦੀ ਸਲਿੱਪ ਭਰਨੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ. So that those are the basic trainings. ਜੋ basic trainings ਹੈ, that is being given to us at initial level. Those are being fading away. Curriculum वही है, curriculum वही चल रहा है. Only thing is how to implement that curriculum, how to use that curriculum in actual way. Second one is that is skill based and experiential learning. This experiential learning is missing one. I'm teaching this education from last 25 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਟੀਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੂੰ. ਉਹ ਉਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਟੀਚ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੰਟਰਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਹੈ. ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਲੇਬਸ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, but still ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਉਹ ਮਾਸਟਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. You see, ਸਾਡੇ ਟੀਚਰਸ, ਇੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈਸਨ, ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈਸਨ ਦੇਣੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, B.Ed ਵਾਲੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਟਰਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਤੇ ਭੇਜਣਾ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਡਲ ਲੈਸਨ ਦੇਣਾ ਟੀਚਰ ਨੇ. That is in syllabus, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ 5 ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਆ ਕਿੰਨੇ, ਮੈਨੂੰ I don't know. ਕਿੰਨੇ ਟੀਚਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ? You analyze that. ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਦਿਖਾਇਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ. ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟੀਕਲ ਲੈਬਸ +1 +2 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟੀਕਲ ਲੈਬ 'ਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ. BSc ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਲਟ ਐਨਾਲਿਸਿਸ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ BSc 'ਚ ਸਾਲਟ ਐਨਾਲਿਸਿਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੁਣ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੁ ਬੱਚੇ ਸਾਲਟ ਐਨਾਲਿਸਿਸ ਕਰਦੇ. ਸੋ ਦੋਜ਼ ਥਿੰਗਸ are missing in the curriculum. ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ things, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ laboratory skills, how to use the laboratory, how to use the laboratory equipment, how to behave in a laboratory, ਉਹ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾਉਣਾ ਸੀ. that is ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਿਸ ਕਰਤਾ. ਚਾਹੇ +1 ਚ ਹੈ, ਚਾਹੇ +2 ਹੈ, ਚਾਹੇ BSc ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਹੈ. ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਲੈਬੋਰਟਰੀ ਹੈ, ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਲੈਬੋਰਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਹੀ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ. Those things are missing. So that is the major thing, is still we are not developing the skills. ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ skills, we say that is for ancient education, Nalanda, Takshila, there is so many skill-based education is there in our, that is Gurukul system. Then Upanishad है, ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ Buddhist philosophy है. Sir ने question ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ, bank ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ banking service ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ? It's a question from my side. You need education for life or education for living? No, education life ਲਈ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ living ਲਈ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ? There is a difference. If you say education for life, living apne aap aa jani. If you have learned, if you are educated, definitely you got some skill. Educated hua hai, educated ye nahi hai. That is, there is a difference in literate and educated. Likhan de naal, padhan de naal, education de naal, there is a huge difference. So if you learn for life, don't learn for living. If you learn for life, you will be skilled one. If you learn for living only, you will learn only one skill. You will not diversify. You will not develop yourself. So education for life, then soft skills, then vocational and lifelong learning. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ MOOCs courses ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ online education courses ਹੈ, that is for lifelong learning. That is to improve our skills, to improve our that one is teaching, to improve our research, to improve our caliber. So for lifelong learning, we have to use these tools. Because I say, ਅਸੀਂ refresher courses ਲਗਾਉਣੇ ਆ. ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ refresher courses ਤੇ this one ਇੱਕ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ orientation course ਹੁੰਦਾ. Orientation course generally ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ that is starting ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, that is starting of career. We join that course, we are energetic and we are eager to learn something. ठीक है? But when we go for refresher course, तो we become somewhat egoistic कि ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਉਂਦਾ speaker ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ. You analyze at your own. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ refresher courses ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਅਸੀਂ, what we have learned, how much we have applied, or we have learned something or not, ਜਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ certificate ਹੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਗਏ A grade ਵਾਲਾ. You have to think about that, because only if we analyze, only then we can pass on the things to our next generation. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਜਸਲੀਨ ਜੀ ਆ ਗਏ ਪਿੱਛੇ, ਮੈਨੂੰ time ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ. So I will come only to 2-3 things. ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ NEP 2020 ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਹੈ. NEP 2020 implementation is required. I always say we are good beginners, but we are not good finishers. ਅਸੀਂ finish ਨਹੀਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਕਰਦੇ. That is, we don't implement the things in a proper way. So that is a problem. There are many things in our constitution. TN Session, Chief Electoral Commissioner ਹੋਇਆ, ਡੈਥ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ, he is no more. ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, same constitution ਸੀ, same rules ਸੀਗੇ, same regulations ਸੀ, but he has implemented those things at a micro level, and he's changed the whole scenario of election of India. So same thing in every policy, things are there. 6% GDP 1986 policy ਦੀ recommendation ਸੀ 6% ਹੋਣਾ, but 6% use ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ. ਦੱਸਿਆ 3.6% ਜਾਂ 4% ਰਵਿੰਦਰ ਜੀ ਨੇ, sorry, ਅਨਿਕ ਸਰ ਨੇ. That is a thing. I've given this case studies of best practices. I've given this example of this second one is FYUC curriculum, that's choice-based curriculum. Choice-based curriculum is there. I give you experience of Punjab University. We have implemented this choice-based curriculum, but Senate has approved that. But after that, it has been not adopted at college level. That is again a chance given to the students is not being used properly. Policy de which choice-based credit system have, but we are not using that. Then second, I've given the example of dual education model of Germany. That is the best model. If you study that is for 6 months, you have to study. For 3 months, you have to study. Then for 1 month, you have to apply that. That is immediately you apply that. If there is some problem in applying those things, that one is regulating those things at that was actual level, then you come back to your teacher. Then you come back to your instructor. Then you can change the things. Then the last one is skill-based learning. That is being used as in Finland. What is given in our Gurukul system, in our Upanishad system, there are so many things are given, and we are implementing those things. But we are not implementing those things at micro level. We are implementing those things at a superficial level. That is a problem, because in our curriculum, everything is given, but we are not using those curriculum procedures to transact those teaching and learning or knowledge to the students in a proper way. So with that, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your thought-provoking lecture. In fact, it has left us with so many questions. And NEP itself is a vast document, and it came after so many years. So we are having the multiplicative effect today. NEP multiplied by the experience of our resource persons. So thank you so much, sir, for winding up in the given time. May I now request our next resource person. For the theme 3, we have Dr. Jaspal Singh. He is an esteemed associate professor at the Center for Distance and Online Education, University of Jammu, with over 23 years of teaching experience. He holds dual doctorates in education and Hindi from Punjab University, Chandigarh, along with multiple academic accolades, including a gold medal in his master's. Sir has played a pivotal role in academic administration, serving as coordinator for B.Ed and BA programs and holding key memberships in various university committees. He is also the president of Council for Teacher Education Foundation. Beyond academia, he has actively contributed to student welfare, cultural activities, and sports, with achievements in NCC, NSS, and inter-university competitions. His extensive contributions to research, teaching, and educational leadership make him a highly respected resource person. And we have Sir with us.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मैडम। एक शेर तो गल शुरू करांगे। ਜਦੋਂ ਵੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਤੁਰਨੇ ਦਾ, ਜਦੋਂ ਵੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਤੁਰਨੇ ਦਾ ਲੋਕੀ ਚੱਕਦੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਜਦੋਂ ਵੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਤੁਰਨੇ ਦਾ ਲੋਕੀ ਚੱਕਦੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਪਰ ਜਦ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਰਨਾ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਹੈ ਥਾਂ ਥਾਂ ਡਿੱਗਦਾ ਫਿਰਦਾ। ਕਾਫੀ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜੋ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਵਕਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਵਨ ਸਟਰੀਮ ਵਾਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਨੇ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਿ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਵਨ ਸਟਰੀਮ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਭਵਿੱਖ ਕੀ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਚੈਲੰਜਿਸ ਕੀ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਅਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਕੀ ਨੇ, ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਗੱਲ ਉੱਪਰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਵਨ ਸਟਰੀਮ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਦੇਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਲਟੀ ਡਿਸਿਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਬਣਨਾ ਪਏਗਾ, ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਤਾਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਜੁਗਾੜ ਜੁਗੜ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਾਲਜ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਮਲਟੀ ਡਿਸਿਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਬਣਾ ਲਈਏ। ਕੁਛ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਲਾਹ ਇਹ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਕਿ ਈਟੀਟੀ ਕੋਰਸ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਲਟੀ ਡਿਸਿਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਟਰੀਮ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਰਗਾ ਹੀ ਉਹ ਕਾਲਜ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਫਿਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਬੜਾ ਸੌਖਾ ਵੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਲਟੀ ਡਿਸਿਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਲਜ ਚਲਾਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਲੋਕ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਏਡਾ ਸੌਖਾ ਕੰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਪਹਿਲੀ ਅੜਚਨ ਤਾਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਬੋਡੀਜ਼ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਕਾਲਜ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਜ਼ਿਟ ਕਰਨ, ਉਹ 10 ਕੁ ਵਾਰੀ ਤਾਂ ਝੰਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਾਲਜ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਬਣਨ ਵਾਲਾ। ਜੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਪਾਸ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਔਖਾ ਸੌਖਾ, ਉਸ ਬੋਡੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਟੀਮ ਆਈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਪੋਟੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਨਾਲ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਲਟੀ ਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਫਿਰ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦਾ। ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਕਿਸਮ ਦਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਦੇਖ ਵੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਾਲਜ ਜਾਂ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਗਰੋਥ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਲਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਉਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬਿਊਰੋਕ੍ਰੈਟਿਕ ਮਾਈਂਡਸੈਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਟਰਕਚਰ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਦਲਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੋਰਮਸ ਐਂਡ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ। ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ ਜੰਮੂ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੰਗਾਮਾ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ NCT ਨੋਰਮਸ ਉੱਥੇ ਇੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਹੋਣੇ ਹੈ। ਅੱਛੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, NCT ਨੋਰਮਸ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪੂਰੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀ ਬੋਡੀ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਵਕਤ ਤੇ ਐਫੀਲੀਏਟਡ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨੋਰਮਸ ਪੂਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਸਨ ਤੇ ਇੱਕਦਮ ਹੁਣ 2019 ਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਠਾਹ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ NCT ਵਰਗੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਵੈਸੀ ਲੈਂਡ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਵੈਸਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਟਰਸਟ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਵੈਸੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੈਕਲਟੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਰੱਖਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ, ਵੈਸਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਇਨਫਰਾਸਟ੍ਰਕਚਰ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਐਫੀਲੀਏਟਡ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਜ਼ ਤੋਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਇੱਕ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਵਕਤਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਅਗਰ ਉਹ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਡੇਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਿੰਗਲ ਸਟਰੀਮ ਵਾਲੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਭਵਿੱਖ ਕੀ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡੀ NEP ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਅਸੈਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਅਕਾਊਂਟੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਮਲਟੀ ਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਣ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਅਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕੀ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੂਰ ਦਰਾਡੇ ਇਲਾਕਿਆਂ ਤੱਕ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਜਾਣਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਲੋਕ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਪ੍ਰਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਪਹੁੰਚਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਬੋਲਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਘੱਟ ਰਹਿ ਗਏ ਨੇ, ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਖਤਮ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਪਹੁੰਚਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਹੀ ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਲਟੀ ਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਓ। ਸਾਡੇ ਕੁਝ ਜੰਮੂ ਕਸ਼ਮੀਰ ਦੇ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਨੇ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਮਲਟੀ ਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਬਣਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਕਾਲਜ ਡਿਮਾਂਡ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਦਾ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਕੋਰਸ ਵੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਂਚ ਕਰ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਫਿਰ ਮੰਨ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਗਰੋਥ ਹੋਵੇ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਹਾਇਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੈਕਟਰ 'ਚ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟਸ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੜਿੱਕਾ ਅੜਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਕਲ ਬਣਨ ਦੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਅਪਰੋਚੇਬਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਕੋਈ ਸੰਸਥਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋਰਸ ਲਈ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਦੇ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਲਈ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਚਾਹਵਾਨ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਆਰਟਸ ਦੇ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਵਾਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਅਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਜਾਂ ਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਟੀਚਰਸ ਜਾਂ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਪਸ਼ਨਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ। ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਸਲਾਹ ਦੇ ਬੈਠਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਵਿੱਚ 5-5 7-7 ਕਾਲਜ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਅਗਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਫੈਕਲਟੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਕਾਲਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਕਲਸਟਰ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਫੈਕਲਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਲਵੇ ਉਸ ਏਰੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅੱਛਾ ਸੀ ਸੁਝਾਅ, ਪਰ ਮੰਨਣ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹ ਤਨਖਾਹ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਲਈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ? ਜੇ ਦੂਸਰੇ 'ਚ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਉਧਰ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਪੈਸੇ ਲੈ ਰਿਹਾ, ਉਧਰ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਰਿਹਾ, ਇਹ ਗਲਤ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਟੀਚਰ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੋਰਸ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਸੈਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਅੱਛੇ ਰਿਸੋਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਕਾਰ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਜਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰਾ ਵੇਸਟੇਜ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਇਸ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਰਨਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਵਕਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਦਿਤ ਸਰ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਲੈਬੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਸਿਰਫ ਅਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਅੱਛੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਲੈਬੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਜਾਣਾ ਕਿ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛੀਆਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, NGOs ਵਗੈਰਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਲੈਬੋਰੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਕਰ ਲੈਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਸਾਡੇ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਸ ਪੜੋਸ 'ਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਲਦੀ ਤੋਂ ਜਲਦੀ ਕੋਲੈਬੋਰੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਕਰ ਲੈਣੀਆਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਦਿਖੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਤੱਕ ਦਾ ਸਾਧਨ ਬਣੇ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਸ-ਪਾਸ ਕੰਮ ਰਹੀਆਂ। ਸਾਡੇ ਆਸ-ਪਾਸ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਮੈਰੀਟੋਰੀਅਸ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਨੇ, ਹਨਾ, ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਨੇ, ਸਾਡੇ ਲੁਧਿਆਣਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਏਬਲਡ ਸਕੂਲ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਤੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੈਬੋਰੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਸਿੰਗਲ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਟਰੀਮਸ ਵਾਲੇ, ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਕਿਸਮ ਦਾ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ। ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਅਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਲੈਣੀਆਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਉਸ ਖੇਤਰ ਨੂੰ ਕੇਟਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਏਰੀਆ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਵੀ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟਸ ਬਣ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਸਾਇੰਸਿਸ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ, ਸਾਇੰਸਿਸ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ, ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜਿਸ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ, ਜਾਂ ਮੈਥਮੈਟਿਕਲ ਸਾਇੰਸਿਸ ਦੇ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੋਂਦ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਇੱਕ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ। ਜਦੋਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰਾ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਡਿਗਰੀ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਨੇ 4 ਈਅਰ ਕੋਰਸ ਸਾਡੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਲਾਂਚ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ। ਉਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਥੀ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ 4 ਈਅਰ ਕੋਰਸ ਕੋਈ ਬੱਚਾ BA BEd ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, BSc BEd ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਾਂ BCom BEd ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਹੀ ਡਿਗਰੀਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਖਤਰਾ ਹੈ। ਨਾ ਉਹ ਅੱਛਾ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਟ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਹੀ ਉਹ ਅੱਛਾ ਇੱਕ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਜਾਣਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਰਹੇਗਾ, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਟੀਚਰ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਕੋਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ 1 ਸਾਲ 'ਚ ਉਹ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਟੀਚਰ ਬਣ ਜਾਏਗਾ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਸਾਈਮਲਟੇਨੀਅਸਲੀ ਅਗਰ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਬਾਹਰ, ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਖਤਰਾ ਤਾਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸੀਰੀਅਸਲੀ ਉਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਸੰਸਥਾਨ ਨੇ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਉਹ ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਵੀਂ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਭੀੜ ਖੜੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਘਰੇ ਬੈਠੇ BA ਕਰਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਘਰੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ BEd ਵੀ ਕਰਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ। ਫਿਰ ਉਹ BSc ਪਾਸ ਆਊਟ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ BSc ਦਾ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਵੇਗਾ, ਨਾ ਹੀ ਉਹ B.Ed ਦਾ ਕੁਝ ਆਵੇਗਾ। ਤੇ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਦਿਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਫੇਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਫਿਰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਹਾਈ ਕੋਰਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਸਟਰ ਨੂੰ ਆਖਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਗਾਂ ਦਾ ਐਸੇ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਦਿਖਾ ਦੇ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਗਾਂ ਲੱਭਦਾ ਹੀ ਰਿਹਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਐਸੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਗਿਆ। ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਐਸੀ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਖੜੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣ, ਮਲਟੀਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਬਣਾਏ ਜਾਣ, ਔਰ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਨਿਗਾਹ ਰੱਖੀ ਜਾਏ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਲਟੀਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਫੇਜ਼ ਆਊਟ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਇਹ 30 ਤੱਕ, ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ 30 ਤੱਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਿੰਗਲ ਸਟਰੀਮ ਵਾਲੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਵੱਲ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਮਲਟੀਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਆ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਜਾਣ। ਵੈਸੇ ਤਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਨੋਰਮ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਹਰ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਖੜੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਭੀੜ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਲੋਕ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ। ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਔਰ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਲਟੀਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਜਾਂ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਿਛਲਾ ਕੋਈ ਪਾਸਟ ਟਰੈਕ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦੇਖ ਲਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਕਾਬਿਲ ਹਨ ਵੀ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਨ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗਾਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਟਰਕਚਰ ਖੜਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਦਿਖਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ। ਕੱਲ ਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸੇ ਪ੍ਰਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਸਿਰਫ ਇੱਕ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਡਾਟਾ ਆਇਆ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ 900 ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਟੀਚਰ ਜੋ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਸਨ, ਉਹ ਡਬਲ ਟ੍ਰਿਪਲ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜੇ ਨੰਬਰ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਰੋਲਡ ਸੀਗੇ। ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ NCT ਨੇ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਬੜੇ ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟੀਚਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਟਰ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਿਸਟਡ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ, ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਬਣਾਉਣ, ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਫੋਟੋ ਰੱਖਣ ਉਸ ਟੀਚਰ ਦੀ, ਉਹਦੀ ਕੁਆਲੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਰੱਖਣ ਔਰ ਕੀ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਪੋਸੀਬਲ ਹੈ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਐਸਾ ਇੱਕ ਬੜਾ ਨੰਬਰ 900 ਜਾਂ 900 ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ 5-5 4-4 ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਜਿਸਟਰਡ ਨੇ। ਮੈਂ ਐਸੇ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਾਲਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੀਪਲ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੀਪਲ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੇ, ਔਰ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਨੇ, ਕਈ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੀਪਲ ਹਨ। ਉਹ ਡਾਟਾ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਨੇਜ ਕਰਕੇ ਚਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਨ, ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਤਾਲਮੇਲ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਵਿਚਿੱਤਰ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਮਲਟੀਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਬਣਾਏ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਬਣ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਾਵਧਾਨੀ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਛੇਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਛੇਤੀ ਪਰਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਮਿਲਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੌਤ ਆਪੇ ਮਰਨ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰਯਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਕੁਝ ਅੱਜ ਦੀਆਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੁਝ ਸੁਝਾਅ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਹਿਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਅਦਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੀ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਦਾ। ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਥੀ ਗਰੋਵਰਸ ਬੈਠੇ ਨੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਬੜਾ ਇੱਕ ਲੰਬਾ ਸਫ਼ਰ ਤੈਅ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਜੰਮੂ ਤੋਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, ਰਾਕੇਸ਼ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਜੀ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛੇ ਟੀਚਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਟਰ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸ਼ਵਨੀ ਜੀ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਪਠਾਨਕੋਟ ਤੋਂ ਨੇ, ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛੇ ਟੀਚਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ 'ਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ, ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੰਦਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਿਕਲੇ ਸੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ 'ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਠੱਪ ਪਏ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਸਕੂਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ। ਕੋਈ ਟੀਚਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਦਾ ਸੀ। ਸ਼ਿਵਾਲਿਕ ਹਿੱਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਸਕੂਲ ਸਨ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਬੰਦ ਪਏ ਸੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸਕੂਲ ਚਲਾ ਕੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਹਾਇਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੱਲ ਨਿਕਲ ਆਏ ਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਉਹ ਰਸਤਾ। ਅਦਿਤ ਸਰ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਬਰੀਕ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਸੁਣੀਆਂ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ। ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਐਸਾ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਰਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਤੇ ਕਦੀ ਕੰਪਰੋਮਾਈਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ। ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਮਲਟੀਡਿਸਪਲਿਨਰੀ ਅਪਰੋਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਾਲਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਕੁਝ ਸਵਾਲ ਲੈ ਲਈਏ ਨਾ? ਅੱਛਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ।
Thank you, sir. That was another domain he has added to today's seminar, and a different perspective also. So now we will be moving on to the panel discussion on the seminar's theme, and I request the panelists to please be on the stage. Professor Ravinder Singh, Professor in Finance, Punjab University Business School. Professor Aditya Gupta, Principal, Meyer College of Education, Jammu. Professor Jitendra Grover, Department of Education, Punjab University, Chandigarh. and Dr. Jaspal Singh, Directorate of Distance Education, University of Jammu. And we are honored to have our moderator as Dr. Gurpal Singh Rana, Principal Vice Group of Institutes, Barnala. Sir will be moderating the panel discussion. Welcome, sir.
I'll stand here. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Half past 10 is the time when we started, and it's almost like what, 3 hours. And I tell you, this was the 3 hours of pure gold, 24 karat gold. And we know the gold prices are shooting up like anything. When I went through that, I made copious notes of what you said, sir, all of you 4 gentlemen. And I wrote so many things because they are so well read, so well informed, so deeply entrenched in the stream to which they belong, that I could still find a lot of common denominators. And I was told by Dr. Pargatji, the principal sir, that I just have 30 minutes. And I like this thing a lot. I like this, and I know that all 4 of them also like it. So it will be tussle how much we can give each other a time. And I would like to say special thanks to Dr. Dr. Madhu madam for Dr. Manu madam, sorry, for I came here as a paper presenter, but it was on the morning only I got that I will be moderator. So it's a great honor to be sitting amongst all of you to be moderating. When I was going through each one of you, thank you very much, Professor Ravindra Singh ji. Wonderful thought it was. They all have come so thoroughly prepared. Data was flowing thick and fast everywhere, and the beauty was, because that's a true essence of a true researcher, that you don't tamper with data. Data was largely same, right? If somebody was saying that how many students are seen to be employable, they were more or less, the ballpark figure was more or less same ways, right? So it means they have done whatever they have sourced, they're all correct, and that's a true testimony of a true researcher. I figured out something where I could, because that is the topic which the first 3 speakers talked about. But I forgot the other gentleman also. Thank you very much, Professor Aditji, for this wonderful presentation. Then we have had Professor Jatinder Groverji. We were sitting together there, right? And thank you very much. Then in the end, short it was, but I know that people were standing behind you, so you didn't have any choice. Dr. Jaspalji, thank you very much for being here, right? And I'm sure. And I was wondering, I wish this house was was fully filled, right? But never mind, whatever it is, let us keep on spreading the good ideas, and that's what the real purpose of any conference, of any seminar is. I found, that the first 3 speakers talked about MOOCs, right? So I'm also very fond of that. I have done personally about 100+ MOOCs. If I propose this idea, just delve deep into it, that can we suggest something like, in terms of curriculum redesign, Sir was telling about, Sir was also telling that, though we start with much passion, but we do not finish it with the same type of energy. Can we think about, integrating MOOCs into the curricula? If yes, what is your thought on that? If is this idea a workable idea? If we say, okay, for any student, they need to have these MOOCs done as a partial fulfillment of their degree. So over to the panel. So it's a common question. I think Sir also talked about MOOCs. The gentleman also spoke about, and Sir also talked about. So I thought this is a common denominator.
So I think what you are suggesting is a very workable idea, and in fact it is happening in many cases. In fact, you will all be glad to know even the UGC has indicated in its draft document that we can have 60% face-to-face transaction and 40% can be done online. So that 40% online or in related mode has to be done through MOOCs. So all students, in fact, you can design a curriculum, you can design a program in which only 60% programs or courses shall be taught face to face. 40% students can pursue at their own level. So you have platforms like Coursera, you have the Swim platform, you have LinkedIn Learning, you have Infosys Springboard. So all these platforms are offering courses. So if I have suppose 6 papers to study in semester 1, out of those 6 papers, I can have 4 papers to face method, and 2 papers students can study at their own. The only catch phrase is that you cannot, because we have to assess those students and their whether their learning outcomes are matching the course outcomes and the program outcomes that we have set out in the curriculum. So assessment part has to be built in.
Yeah.
You cannot leave it to the assessment that is being done online by the MOOCs program. What you can do is, if a student has completed a course online, you can allocate 50% marks to his course completion. And then the other 50% part can be allocated for him for writing a reflective report on what he has learned, and 30% could be reflective report and 20% could be a small presentation as to what he has learned in that course he could present. So based on his acquiring that particular MOOC, the assessment can be done by the college, but definitely MOOC can be part of the course curriculum and the program. So it will be an excellent program where so that would probably address one of the key lacunas in our system, which is the shortage of teachers.
Yeah.
Let him learn from the best in the world.
Yeah.
Let him learn those 2 courses online, no problem. The assessment can be done by the teacher. In fact, the teacher who will do the assessment will also have to be enrolled in that MOOC, because unless and until she knows what the MOOC is all about, then only they can assess. So teachers' own professional development will also happen, and then students will also be effectively assessed. So MOOC definitely should be part of the course curriculum.
And maybe we can add a yardstick, like it should be peer reviewed, or it should be like, which is proctored examination, because there are MOOCs which are very easy to do. You just click in and it can run its own. So that does not, guarantee any learning. So there has, I think Jaspalji has something.
इसमें सावधानी क्या रखनी है कि बहुत सारे कोर्सेज हैं उसी स्ट्रीम के लिए या उसी एरिया के लिए, तो जो टीचर उस क्लास का इंचार्ज है उसको बहुत सावधानी बरतनी पड़ती है कि कौन से, क्योंकि सारे कोर्सेज MOOC के बच्चों के अप्रोच में हैं लेकिन वो कर नहीं पाते, तो इसलिए पहले से जजमेंट कर लें कि ये जो 5-7 कोर्सेज हैं क्योंकि हर एक के बच्चों की एक अपनी तरह की नीड है या उसकी एक IQ है, उन बच्चों के लिए उस क्लास के या उस लेवल के टीचर्स को मालूम है कि ये इस लेवल पे बुक्स बने हैं, तो हमारे बच्चों को ये 4-5 जरूरी है या कर सकेंगे तो वो, क्योंकि लोगों ने पहले कहा कि जो रिलेशन है वो बहुत कम है, या उसका रिजल्ट भी बहुत कम है, तो उसके लिए कोई सावधानी उन टीचर्स को रखनी पड़ेगी जो बुक्स कवर करवा रहे हैं डिग्री कोर्सेज प्रोग्राम में, वो कौन से हैं उनके बच्चों के लिए इजी है या आसान है या वो कर सकेंगे या उनकी IQ लेवल तक है, वो जरूरी है।
Assessment is required, right? They say assessment is required. That may be, that is in the form of presentation, in the form of some assignment, or in the form of small test. But second, there should be a list in every course of some MOOCs that has to be, those have to be checked by the teacher. Are those MOOCs good for the students? Are those MOOCs relevant to the syllabi or not? That we have to check. Only then we have to prescribe the syllabus and do a proper assessment. And we have to use innovative methods of assessment, not like a paper pencil test. We have to do some innovative method, innovative techniques of evaluation we have to use to do the assessment of MOOCs.
Before Ravi ji speak about, and of course this question is for you as well, I would like to just add one query, right? Because while going through your PPT, you created a curiosity in my mind when you were saying that, you see a big time involvement, engagement, or introduction of AI in examinations. Right. So if you can add something about that, as well as this MOOCs question also, you can answer.
I feel this concept of MOOCs is a great idea. No, it is offering to the colleges, like, sometimes the students, they are asking to study those subjects which are not provided in the college, but they are highly interested in studying those subjects. So with the introduction of this concept of MOOCs, I feel this gives an opportunity to the student, they can study those subjects.
Yeah,
and they will not get deprived of. And for the colleges also, you're not required to hire the faculty for that subject, and they are available online. And all these speakers, they are saying, and I know I'm also concerned about the quality of MOOC.
Yeah, quality of MOOC. Yeah.
MOOC, which just should we should evaluate the just to go ahead. But along with that, there are a lot of platforms offering a different quality of stuff. So we should evaluate the quality of a particular MOOC on a particular plate, and then only we should design a list that okay, these MOOCs from these platforms you can do. Otherwise, there's a plethora of boxes.
Yeah, like you compare Udemy with Neptils.
Yes.
There's a big difference between the quality of the MOOC experience. Yeah.
And we should, we must apply this concept of MOOCs, and then we should be concerned about the quality.
Yeah.
We should
AI in examinations.
Yes, AI in examination. Like as per NDP 2020, it talks about and then it talks about examination on demand. Whenever a student says that I'm ready for examination, he should be given that opportunity to do the exam. No, right now it is 5 months or 6 months semester. After that, we take examination of student. But then there are some advanced learners, some slow learners. Maybe a student is ready after 2 months only that I am prepared with this paper. I can that the examination. Now this NDP 2020 has given that opportunity to the student that okay, it is examination of demand. Whenever you are ready, maybe it is 2 months, maybe it is 9 months.
Okay.
You will take the exam. Right now, but this is practically very, very difficult to take the examination. Let us say 100 students sitting in a class, and one day one student coming, okay, I'll give it all, let us say 10,000 marks, another student coming 11,000 marks, and they are giving different time. How will our teacher design the question for that?
Yeah.
There you have to take the help of AI-based software. Syllabus is there, you can just put in and they will generate the question for you. Okay, they are already the systems are there, agencies are there, which are taking the doctor examination.
Yeah.
Making use of this AI software. So this is what I was talking about.
Right.
It will be possible only because they are writing facility. Otherwise, it will not be possible. So that's what I was talking about.
But this can be a logistical nightmare for having a big repository of question bank. But that
you just give content is there is all backed by the content.
Right.
Tell them that this is the topic, give us the questions.
Good.
They will generate.
Right.
You don't need any question that happen.
I'm in a hurry to ask question because I don't know when Dr. Bhagavan said your time is out, right? There was one statistic which Sir brought in, and I will make it open for all the 4 panel members to give their opinion on that, right? Sir gave a figure where it looks alarming when we see that figure. When Sir said there are declining professions, how many? 75 million. That will scare anyone. Boys, beta, piche. Listen here, be attentive. That will scare anyone that if emerging technologies come, that will be something which will take away jobs. But at the same time, another figure which Sir said in the same slide was about that it is going to create new kinds of job. That is 133 million. So I think how we address the audience by telling them don't be afraid of technology, because it is what? It's an augmentation of how much? About 60 million new jobs. So if you can allay their fears, I mean, because, if you can say a few things about, how this technology, embrace of technology is always good. There can be certain kind of doubts, but in the longer run, the kind of new jobs it creates, the new wealth it creates is something, it is so big. Would you like to say something on this? And I have one very funny question for Professor Jatinder Groverji. right? And because we have to lighten the mood, because when you're moderating, you have to keep into mind all the different kinds of expectations. So that would be funny question which will come your way. So I expect that you give the funny answer as well, right? When I put it across. Yeah, over to you, sir. We don't need to scare about the new technology.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So this data I was quoting from our the World Economic Forum, where it listed out 10 areas where there will be no need of any employees. And since I am part of the field of commerce and management, one of the areas listed out was bookkeeping.
Yeah.
And in BCom, those teachers were teaching the BCom students. We know that it was a 3-year program. Now, of course, at the LEP it will be 2 years program. So during those 3 years, we were focusing only on accounting and accounting. And at the end of the 3 years, you see, a software is there, it is doing all the accounting for you, do not have to do any accounting. So this is totally very well thought which this multi-economic firm has plotted. So 75 million jobs will be going obsolete during this presentation, and I was talking about it, might have seen that. But then they understood now there's no need to get scared of. 133 million new areas, new jobs will be opening up in different sectors.
New areas will be created. Never heard before. Yeah.
And then there was another 9 areas. So which we need to just change our direction of learning from the areas which have gone obsolete. We just need to shift to those areas. Post curriculum, we need to rework it so that the education which we are providing to the students it remains relevant, and the student after studying, they get employed. Already they have identified those areas.
Yeah. Okay. I'll ask, so it's a very specific question. I'll ask you a specific question now, right? Let me come down. When we were presenting, there was a term which you would use. I think this is a term which has proper functional meaning especially in the US. That is research commercialization, right? Because the big companies, the big tech any big company, whether they're technology, whether they're manufacturing, any company, they depend on the big universities for the research R&D. They don't do their own R&Ds, right? So can you explain this when you said this research commercialization? What did you mean by this term?
So basically, research commercialization is related with what research we do, how it impacts, whether it is product development, whether it is usage of a particular system or a process, in terms of how it has been embraced or how it is required by the industry, in terms of patents, in terms of copyright infringements and other things. So say for example, we all use these mobile phones, but we don't know that in all these mobile phones, the one chip that is the modem that communicates with the tower is from a company called Qualcomm.
Yeah.
And Qualcomm is a company that uses research from MIT or Stanford in connecting with the tower through a technique which uses the 5G spectrum or the 4G spectrum. So for any telephone manufacturer or any mobile phone manufacturer, they won't be able to design their own modem.
Yeah.
Because the underlying technology of connectivity has been patented and strengthened by a company called Qualcomm. So everybody has to pay that company to use that technology. That is research commercialization.
That's good.
So if Qualcomm had not created that mobile modem, today even if Qualcomm doesn't develop a new modem, all the modems that are currently being used on the basis of their usage, the company is already being paid.
Yeah.
So we want such type of technologies to be patented in our country so that the research can be commercialized at the local level.
Yeah.
Right. And that commercialization can increase our GDP and our economy to that level. So right now we are only dependent upon IITs and these top institutions, and in fact these IITs are not partnering with Indian companies; they are partnering with global companies. So Microsoft is opening its center in IITs. Google is opening its center in IITs because they know that the kind of research commercialization that is coming out of these organizations They want to take benefit at a global level, but none of the Indian companies are taking advantage of that. So our research commercialization is just a small, pass-through of what is being done at the international level. So that is what research commercialization is. We need to monetize the research that we have done.
Monetizing it. If I can add something to this, sir, give an example of Qualcomm. Foxconn is another company, right? Which is a giant, Taiwanese giant, right? And I think we would talk about when people would come and share their research papers here. We always talk about, somebody also talked here about academia industry interface. And we see here, when we say this term, we believe the industry to guide us. But I think when we say research commercialization, we say, okay, academia also is going to give you back, by the way. It's going to be two-way process of give and take rather than, the industry would sound bossy about, I expect these kind of professions to be made, make them like, no. It's like, I will churn out the basic, idea into, the scalability, because, you test those in the labs and then if it is workable, then you process it. Good. Thank you very much. And I will go to the next one. I don't know what is the message coming to me, but I think we have 15 minutes with us. I think, sir, it's a common question. I think we all can answer. Let us give both the gentlemen an option to answer this question first. I read it, right, that NAC has also thinking through a new process where they would say, let us give NAC accreditation a two-way process. One would be, the first step would be binary, yes or no, whether you're NAC approved, like this college has A+, it's a wonderful thing. Whether you are there or not, that is one. Second, once you have been NAC approved, then comes some figure, right? Then they would talk about, the scores would come in. So how do you find this idea when, if it gets implemented? Because does it encourage? Because now it is a mad race. You would say, okay, I would keep on waiting till I'm assured about A++, if you got A++, like I worked in LP for 13 long years. They made gung-ho about A++ every part of the world, right? But they kept on holding it for 3-4 years before they are sure they were going to get it. So this also creates a lot of mad race. So what is the idea about, making it two-step so that every institution gets accredited by a body, snack into two steps? What is your thoughts on that?
NAC is going to change the binary system. Committee is being constituted in which 3-4 persons are there, and those are going to make NAC like MB.
Yeah, okay.
Because in NAC, you see POs and COs, program outcomes, course outcomes, and learning outcomes. You talk about course outcome, program outcome, learning outcome. And I say when there is a NAC assessment is there, NAC has to come and we have to file the EQR for other things. Many universities change their curriculum at that time. So, we know that is
faculties are briefed ki kya bolna, kya nahi bolna. Everything is stage managed at many places. Yeah.
I got an opportunity to interact with the persons who go for MBA assessments. Those people are very particular. That is how you have changed the curriculum. That is, we changed the curriculum. One of the speakers said that it will take in government system, it will take 5 years, 3 years, 4 years. It will take. But question is how we change the curriculum. Whom we consulted. That's have we consulted the clients, have we consulted the industry, have we consulted the product use karna, have we consulted them, or we 4 people, we 4 professors sit there and say we are the masters and we change the curriculum. But have you taken the information? Have you taken the feedback? That is required. And second thing, what you are saying that it will change the system definitely, that is NAC accredited or not accredited. That will give, because there are things are coming that for getting scholarship for scheduled caste students from 2027, I think every college should be NAC accredited. Only then this scholarship will come to the students. Students will get only one. That process is going on. That is NAC accredited. Score doesn't matter. If you are NAC accredited, your students will be getting some scholarship, or college will get some, that one is funds from UBC or some other agencies. But second one is, it should be not like this, that is yes or no. I'll say this, yes or no. Because in academia, we can't be on that one is, we say that is on a scale that is 0 or 1. We can't be divided like this. Because in education, teaching, learning, skill development, there are many things that lies between yes and no. So I think when it will come, then we will see, but there will be some problems if it depend only on binary system. That is 0 to 1. Learning can't be 0. Teaching can't be 0. Skill can't be 0. Or skill can't be 1 also. 1 means if you are being 0 to 1, 1 means spring. If you are playing with two numbers, 0 and 1. 1 is spring. That is not everyone is spring. There is always a scope to change. There is always a scope to develop. There is always a scope for others will outshine. So there are things to see, because I did not read that document or not seen that document. So there may be some problems. Other problems will be there.
I think it's a committee report by Radha Krishnan, right? It just came out in the 2020.
Add something to that. So the basic purpose of going to this new system was that in the existing system, as we know that all colleges are ranked from A to whatever, A, B, C, D. So the thought process is that whenever there is a new college entering into the accreditation system, it is very rare in our country that a college will in its first instance only be getting A grade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when somebody gets a B grade or a B plus grade or a C plus grade, with that lower perception of that grade, the perception of the college also becomes lower.
Yeah.
Which actually it may not be true.
Yeah.
So what the government is trying to do at the moment is getting maximum number of colleges, first time colleges, to enter into the system.
Yes.
By being accredited.
Yes.
By being accredited means that at least those 10, earlier there were 7 categories, now there will be 10 categories. So in those 10 categories, they are at least falling at a level which makes them, their perception in terms of the students who want to take admission or parents who look at colleges as an accredited institution.
Yes.
And they have also not disappointed institutions that are going to be not accredited, because they are thinking of introducing a category progressing towards accreditation.
Yeah.
So maybe a few marks here or there, somebody could not score in the online matrix.
One of the parameters.
So they are progressing towards that, so they will eventually be accredited. But then it was also thought that if a college like Khalsa College, which has an A plus, or our college which has an A plus, what will happen to us if we just become accredited? Because then we have to look at the reverse part of it. UGC says that a college with A grade will only get autonomy. If there is no grading, then how are you going to give autonomy?
Okay.
NBA says that if you have a range of 6.5 to so and so, then your program will be accredited. But if that range is not there, then how will we do that? So the next level, that is the MBG, or the majority-based grading level, they are now being introduced from 1 to 5. Whereas if it's a Punjab University, so Punjab University, the level of majority will be much higher than the G.H.G. Khalsa College. So G.H.G. Khalsa College would probably be able to go to majority level 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But all universities will start from majority level 3. Universities with international dual degree programs, international students will go to majority level 4. Specialized institutions, which will only be research-based institutions, will go to majority level 5. So after 3 years, 5 years, the G.H.G. Khalsa College says, my majority level, I am now sure that I have gone from 2 to 3. If after expiry of their accreditation period, they say, now we will apply for majority level 3.
Yeah.
And get ourselves assessed according to that.
Right.
So this new system gives us more opportunity as we become more mature to go from one phase to another. And obviously, once this happens, then the government also will have to change its yardsticks and measurement metrics to, provide monetary benefit to institutions, to provide accreditation to institutions, to, uphold their status, etc. So it's a gradual process. In April and May, all of us will come and see what the new process is and how this is going to impact. So hopefully, this should be a new chapter in our accreditation history.
Yeah. And maybe this will also, government also will think,
Binary accreditation. I'm just confused. Means affiliation.
Yes or no? Either you are.
This is the difference in case someone is getting one. So it means affiliation, just affiliation. Means another layer of checking. In case, let us say, some is not.
I think
affiliation.
Sir made a very.
On the 10 parameters, your college is performing well. The documentation college is not performing well, but it is not accredited. Then not affiliation. Affiliation is with the university.
What I
is only going to it's stated another.
Yeah.
It is stated just another reason. Means affiliation, and after that grading, you can understand. No, you are affiliated now. You are A plus. You are A. You are B plus C. Like that, you are getting some communication from the quality of education.
Yeah.
This institution provided. In case, let us say, it is just a credit. So that means you are at least performing on those 10 parameters. So what I'm saying now, in case you are not accredited, why you are affiliated? You are affiliated. Why you are affiliated? In case of that standard.
Okay. I was told, though there was a.
Or just getting another round of inspection.
Okay. We'll take a question from the audience. Will the person come here or will speak louder from there? How do we do? Yeah. Better question from the audience, better. Till the time they're finding the person. I think Sir made a very valid point, right? It takes care of the reluctance by the aspiring colleges to get into NAC accreditation, because when you start early, when you are new, chances of getting low score is very high, right? So you get in, you keep on performing, then you get into that another bracket of scoring where numbers would come into picture.
Actually, it's not about scoring. So we need to also change our mindset and get out of that grading, mindset. Now there is no grading. If I am accredited, that means the 10 parameters that NAC has set for me, I am performing well on that. And that means, if you see, सब कॉलेज which भी चाहते हैं NAC कराने से, क्यों? पर जो कॉलेज करा लेता है NAC, उसमें और दूसरे कॉलेज में फर्क क्या है? मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि उन्होंने कितनी रातें लगाई कॉलेज में, कितने डॉक्यूमेंटेशन तैयार किए, कितना सब कुछ किया, पर जब आप एक NAC accredited कॉलेज में जाते हो, वहां पर एक डिस्टिंक्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है जो हमेशा दूसरे कॉलेज से अलग मिलेगा। क्या? अब जब आप उस कॉलेज में जाएंगे, उसके प्रोसेसेस, उसके सिस्टम
स्ट्रीमलाइन हो जाएंगे,
हर चीज ऐसी स्ट्रीमलाइन होगी, ऑब्जेक्टिव एविडेंस हर चीज का अवेलेबल होगा। हम कहते हैं हमने 10 वर्कशॉप्स की, तो आपके पास कोई प्रूफ तो होता नहीं है, बोलने को ही है, पर आज NAC के आने से आपके पास वो 10 वर्कशॉप का रिकॉर्ड है, आपकी वेबसाइट में वो मटेरियल है, आपके पास सारी जियो टैग फोटोग्राफ्स हैं, तो आपकी एक अकाउंटेबिलिटी जो पहले सिस्टम में नहीं थी, वो NAC की वजह से बन गई। तो अक्रेडिटेड कॉलेज और नॉट अक्रेडिटेड कॉलेज में यही होगा कि वो कॉलेज जो है वो ज्यादा अकाउंटेबल होगा टुवर्ड्स द सिस्टम्स एंड प्रोसेसेस इन टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस एज कंपेयर्ड टू सम।
प्लस थोड़ा यूनिफॉर्मिटी भी आएगी फंक्शनिंग में।
Yes, law college is accredited as we know the pattern. But those colleges which have not gone for their accreditation, they have this in mind कि बस एक बार NAC की वो करवा ले, एटलीस्ट एक accredit का वो लग जाएगा, टैग लग जाएगा. Because I don't think that plenty of colleges will still fall within that benchmark of 10 parameters.
So, if they won't, then they will perish. Simple as that. Now, when we are talking about quality, survey भी बोला quality, इन्होंने भी बोला quality. जहाँ अगर आपके बच्चों को जॉब नहीं मिल रही, अगर आपका रिसर्च आउटपुट नहीं है, अगर आपका रिजल्ट अच्छा नहीं है, अगर आपका टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस अच्छा नहीं है, फिर ऐसे कॉलेज को चलने का क्या फायदा? Exactly. वही मैं कह रहा हूँ क्वालिटी माइंडसेट ही चाहिए क्वालिटी का काम करने के लिए.
Okay. Sorry, Dr. Manu, let me just give a chance to the madam to ask a question. Go ahead, ma'am.
My query can be well satisfied by, I think, Gurusar, that there is large extent commercialization in research in technology. What about the research in education, commercialization of research in the field of education?
Gurusar, answer my question, the funny question also alongside, because when you said that कि मैं 20 crore दी grant लेके आया सीगा, my goodness, I think you are a Mr. Grant man, and all of 7 crore. It's a big number. So please share the secret of how to get grants also, please. And Dr. Pargat will be all ears, I tell you, the moment you tell it. This is the secret, right? Yeah.
Job.
I
shared with you one thing, that is, I got this grant.
Seminar करा तो दिया भी पता लगेगा बाद में
I got a grant of 6.63 crore rupees from Government of India, out of which 5 crores is for construction of a building. It is being transferred to that one is the account of the action of the university, the Chandigarh administration regarding that one is the map, other things. We've taken all the permissions. But at the end, generally, all the agencies, what those do that after inspection, we will release the last 10%. So that is, those have to release the last 10%. Last 10% means 50 lakh rupees. That is 5 crores, 50 lakh rupees. Those being got delayed for 6 months, 7 months, it got delayed, inspection got delayed for 1.5 years. So the money is spent by the contractor. So Action office has given my phone number directly to the contractor. Generally, when phone sir, paise ka do. And I got an impression that main to karza hi So that is those are the problems that is the lighter way. But you get the grant to such, that is, if there is on 28th February, there was a portal of Indian knowledge system. In Indian knowledge system, there are 4 types of grants being that one is offered. One is for this that one is as a IPS fellow, that is 1 lakh per month for 2 years. You have to do some research. That is only postdoctoral fellowship. Postdoctoral fellowship. That is 1 lakh rupees. This is a huge amount for the students. Those who have just done the PhD or who have completed PhD, those can apply those. Then for the research center in colleges and at university level. And there is a huge grant. I don't know the amount, but that is a high amount, and that will be, those will pay for 2 years for the staff hours. Then there is a third grant, that is want to write a book. If you want to write a book on Indian knowledge system, there is a grant of 5 lakh rupees. That is, in 1 year you have to write a book, and you will get 5 lakh rupees. So that one is buy the books, to consult the books, to go to the library, and then to publish the book also. Then fourth grant is a different type of grant. Different type of grants are there for ICSSR. One of my colleagues that is yesterday got a project of ICSSR of 30 lakh rupees. He is of social sciences, he's not from sciences. I'm not talking about the sciences. In sciences, to get the project of 1 crore rupees, 1.5 crore rupees, there are projects, but only thing is we have to be aware that from where we can get the funds. And there are simple formats. देखो एक दो बार इधर रिजेक्ट नहीं है सारा, एक दो बार रिजेक्शन आएगी, बट जनरली व्हाट हैपन, एक दो बार जब उसी रिजेक्शन प्रोजेक्ट करने उसी टाइम प्रोजेक्ट अप्लाई नहीं. So generally we have to apply for the projects. What I'm giving you the example, like yesterday we were at ICMR with 3 people are there. That is one from medical background, other from engineering, that is he from that was computer engineering. I'm from education. With 3 people collaborated with each other. What is my part? I will do that. but that is part of medical, he will do that. What is the part of engineering people, he will do that. So we have to make the collaborations, then we can apply to ICMR. Then there are people from psychology who apply for that one is the grant in the sciences also, neurosciences. One time I applied there, I got shortlisted, but it is not given to me. That is, those type of grants are there, but only thing is we have to find the funding agency, then we have to follow their guidelines, and then we have to prepare something out of the box. The researcher who want something out of the box, some new thing that can be, that one is researched in the coming time. Only then you fund the project. Or jo aapka question tha, that is related to research in commercialization in education, learning analytics, psychometry, that is there is too much requirement of the psychology people. During my tenure as a DSW, we have appointed two that one is girls as counselors in Punjab University, and those are being paid 40,000 rupees per month, and those have to do counseling of the students, jinko problem hai. And psychometry after 9th or 10th or after 8th, every parent is eager कि मैं अपने बच्चे को किस लाइन से, that is psychometry. चंडीगढ़ के विच पहला सरदार जी होने से बहुत SCRT के विच, I think he is no more now. He was 90 years old, and till that time वो psychometric testing कर रहे थे, and people were ready to pay him 20,000 rupees for a session.
My goodness.
That is what testing and for a session. Those type of things, जो मेरे दिमाग में सुने आए, that is those type of things, you can do that. Then you can write good books. That's writing of the books. That is also part of that one is related to the people of education. That is how to write a book. Those things you can do. The
we have already overshot it by 5-6 minutes. The lady has come here twice. They have been messaging me, but I would not leave this stage, but say a few things, right? Just about 1 minute, right? When I got to see this this pamphlet, right, 2-page pamphlet, right, I observed two things here, right? One very important thing is that I would say it is a partnership, a collaboration of two equals. One is Indian Council of Social Sciences and Research. We know it's an apex body working under the aegis of Ministry of Education, Government of India since I think late 60s. And your institution, equally so good, working since I think 1980s. So it
1948.
I heard 1980. I saw somewhere 1980. 40s. Oh my God, that's truly. So my remarks are absolutely spot on. That it is a partnership between two equals. So don't see that this is a small set. No. This is equally a powerful association. Second, because I have been part of some conferences, some seminars. They pick up a theme and sub themes. There's always a mismatch, one or the here. But here, when I checked it, what your theme is and sub themes, there is a strong convergence of ideas. And icing on the cake is these stalwarts. And I tell you, whenever you conduct it again once more, please give each one of them 2 to 3 hours, because that's what they want. Because when they start, there's a hello. Jab tak tum soye nahi, tab tak hum hatenge nahi. So it was wonderful, right? And thank you once again, the college authorities, for giving me this on-the-spot opportunity. I loved it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Thank you very much. My opportunity is a handshake. Thank you very much. Sounds nice.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gurpal. It was so finely moderated. Thank you so much for the brainstorming. Now I request Dr. Mini to please come forward for the honoring ceremony.
Thank you, Dr. Jasli. So as a gesture of our deep appreciation for the time, knowledge, and expertise that our distinguished guests and resource persons have shared with us, so today we would like to present them with a token of gratitude. May I kindly request our worthy principal, Dr. Pargar Singh Gacha, to present token of gratitude to Dr. Sarabjit Kaur. May I request Dr. H.S. Pararji and Dr. G.S. Pararji to kindly join for the honoring ceremony on the stage. I request Dr. Saranjit Kaur, Principal, Guru Nanak College, Doraha, to receive the honor. May I request Dr. Sharanjit Kaur, Principal, Sahibzada Zorawar Singh, Government College, Burj Hari Singh, Raikot, to receive her honor. Ma'am, please. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ms. Navneet Kaur, Principal, Guru Harkishan Public School. May I request Ms. Navneet Kaur to receive her honor. Thank you, ma'am, for gracing the occasion. May I request Mr. Gunaib Singh, Principal, GHG Khalsa School, Jangpur, to receive the honor. Our special thanks to Dr. Gurpal Rana, and I request him to please receive the honor. Principal, YPS Institutions, Banala. Thank you so much, sir. It's time to express our thanks to our resource persons who have generously shared their knowledge with us. May I request Professor Ravinder Singh Ji to receive the honor. Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful lecture. These are the small token of gratitude from GHG Khalsa Colleges, Gurusar Sadhar. My humble request to Professor Adit Gupta to receive the honor. My humble request to Professor Adit Gupta to receive the honor. Thank you so much, sir, for gracing the occasion, sir. It's an honor to present a token of gratitude to Professor Jatinder Grover. We are very thankful to our resource persons who shared their valuable insights through the various sub-themes of the seminar. A kind request to Dr. Jaspal Singh to receive the honor. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Once again, we extend our heartfelt thanks to all distinguished guests and resource persons. Now, may I request Dr. Manu Chadda, ma'am, to say a few words.
not taking much time. I would humbly thank all the resource persons. My special gratitude goes to our keynote speaker, Sardar Ravindra Singh sir, for kindly accepting the invitation and giving valuable insights and opening the theme so well. Thank you, sir. Deep gratitude to the resource persons, Professor Adit, Professor Jatinder Grover, Dr. Jaspal Singh. It's always been an honor and a privilege to hear you all. I think the whole team will agree with me. We always like listening to three of you. You've always been our favorite delegate resource persons. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Dr. Gurpal, thank you for accepting the invitation at a very short notice and moderating the whole panel of discussion so beautifully. Thank you so much. Special thanks to my fellow friends, my principals, my very own Dr. Sarabjit, Dr. Sharanjit, Madam Navneet, Mr. Gurnap Singh for kindly gracing the occasion, all the delegates here for sitting here and listening to everybody. So this is just a near end of day one. We are going to follow with the paper presentations. I know my students are looking at me. My heart goes to you all because without you people, we are nothing. Thank you so much, my dear students, because you are one such bunch whom we just give a call and you are there for every small to every big thing. So thank you so much, my dear students, my lovely organizing team. Thank you once and for all. Now we'll be meeting for lunch, and immediately after lunch, we start with the technical sessions. Technical session 1 will be in the learning gallery, which will be in online mode. We have presenters from all over India. So since it's in hybrid mode, as you all seen, we had 67 papers from 87 authors here, and we still have around 40 papers with us, where we are in the process of probably bringing another volume. So this is what we could do in just around a gap of like 22nd was the last day for the paper writing, which almost went till 24th, and just in there's few days we could manage with these number. 40 papers are in the pipeline. We are in the process of the second volume, and we have around 60 presenters also. So we'll be having 3 technical sessions today and 3 tomorrow. Today we have 2 technical sessions in the online mode. Technical session 1 is in the learning gallery. Technical session 2 is in the computer lab. Technical session 3, which will be in the offline mode, will be in this particular hall only, where we meet immediately after lunch. So thank you once and for everybody. So here we all see you again after the lunch for the technical session. Thank you.